On this episode of Task Force Geek, we welcome comic creator Krysta Crawford, who is here to talk about her upcoming Kickstarter, Wolf and I. We're going to talk about the new Thor trailer that came out yesterday, plus a new role-playing game that I wish I had when I was a teenager. Plus, we'll catch up with Beth. And because Steve is here, we're going to talk about Downton Abbey, because he won't shut the F up about it.
That's
Top Gun. Top Gun. We're talking about Top Gun. That's what we're
you just
doing.
lost half your viewership.
We got that. We got that all coming up now. Welcome to Task Force Geek. My name is Jeff Reaper, and today I am joined by Walt.
What's up, y'all?
Okay, he says he's got a new shirt here. Let's just get that right out of the way. What is it?
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Oh, dude!
It's from
Big
Trouble
Trouble.
in Little China.
I love it.
It's the Three Storms.
What does it have underneath? Oh, is that like?
It's
like,
let's see.
Chinese
Rain.
characters or- okay.
Rain.
Yes.
I do believe it's let's see. I think wind.
Lightning or something.
It's like rain,
Oh,
wind,
the guy
and
on the left
lightning.
is lightning. Yeah.
Rain, wind, and lightning.
Is it like Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Well, almost.
Stop it.
Rain, wind, and lightning. I wanted to
is-
say thunder, but that's something totally different.
That is awesome.
Remember?
That is awesome, Walt. We will talk
Thank
more
you.
about that in a minute
Thank
if
you
you
very
want to. We also have Beth. How you doing, Beth?
I'm doing good. Hey,
It's been
everybody.
a while. It's been so long since Beth has been on here. We've got a segment today where we're going to be talking about stuff, and we have a guest appearance by Peanut Butter,
Yes. Hi. Say hi.
who likes to stick the furry head in there every so often.
Yes.
least-
Every once in a while.
Whoa.
We like that. Hey, what now? And Downton Abbey fan.
Stop. Stop. I honestly, I do enjoy me some Downton Abbey. I really
Do you?
I
I
do.
didn't know that anyone watched that.
I do.
I
enjoy it.
did. I liked it.
Let's
don't.
be honest. Really?
I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I've never watched 1 minute of it. I mean, I've never, if
But
there
if
was
nothing
some,
else, you need to watch it for Maggie Smith because she is all the
She's
sass
cool.
and snark anybody ever needs in their life.
if there were some robots in it or some ninjas,
They're
like if it was Downton Abbey attacked by ninjas, then I'm in.
that.
Then I'm
And-
interested.
And giant robots.
Honestly, after looking at the plot of the new movie, they may be headed that direction here before too long anyway. So stay,
All right.
stay tuned.
They're going to rope me in. If-
Yeah, they
Doctor
might.
Who was visiting Downton Abbey. I'm in.
Ooh, stop it.
I'm in.
Don't tease me.
It would have to be 10.
What's that?
It would have to be 10. No. It would have to be
Oh, you're
9
saying
visiting
the
Downton Abbey.
Doctor Who?
Right, Steve? 9.
I could actually see any of them all the way up to Capaldi.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Angry Eyebrows. Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely
Mr.
Angry
Angry.
Eyebrows.
yeah, I could see
Yes,
any of them
hey,
up
you
there.
know, I just came up with a new topic in case we need it. Let
Right, there we
me
go.
say, obviously, our guest tonight is not here. She lives out east. She couldn't get here as we began, and I have not heard from her. So there is a possibility that she will not show tonight. If she doesn't, we will have her on another time. If she does, we'll welcome her when she comes. She has the link, and she can be here. And there's a possibility that CaseyJane will join us, although it's looking kind of dim. She's apparently covering for a big bunch of people at work. So and she works pretty hard. So anyway, if she makes it, great. And if not, again, we'll have her on the deal. One other thing I want to mention before we go any further, there's a lot of terrible news out there today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super terrible news. It's not really going to help to sit around and worry about all that. It is what it is. Spend a couple of hours with us, and get your mind off of that and have some fun.
We'll make you smile.
We'll make you smile, hopefully, and inform you and whatever. Change your life.
And
Hopefully.
inform you of the fantastical possibility of a Doctor Who Downton Abbey crossover.
Yes.
And if nothing else, look at this face.
Yeah. What else do you need?
He's like, get me. It's like, this better not be on YouTube.
This better not be live. All right, it's time for housekeeping. Here it goes.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
I love
I
that.
love that. Yep.
That is so
So
great.
Michelle, welcome, Michelle. I'm glad you found us here. Steve, she says, so Steve, you're saying any of the male Doctor Who's would work. Is that
Oh,
what it is?
don't you try to pigeonhole me
See how
there,
that-
Michelle.
See what she did there?
Don't
I
you
see
do
what
that.
she did.
Yeah,
She
hey,
just
listen, I
Called
will.
out your misogyny.
I realize that, and I will say this: I will recover by saying that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor could do very well in that environment if Chris Chibnall does not write the episode.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with Jodie's Doctor except Chris Chibnall.
Hallelujah.
And her
They
companions
should
were
have-
horrible.
They should have. I actually kind of liked her companion.
I liked
They
the
were
other
terrible.
guy. I thought he
Had-
was kind of fun.
They were terrible.
To make it up to her, we should have had Neil Gaiman write one of her episodes. It's like for one episode, you get Neil Gaiman.
Neil
There you go.
Gaiman
my
needs to
God,
write
yeah.
every Doctor Who episode in the history of ever.
Oh, yeah.
You
Could
know,
we get
if-
him to show run?
Oh my God, yes.
If that were to happen,
Let him
if
guide
it
the
were to
whole
happen,
season.
if that were to happen, I would relegate myself to trying to hit the TV when the new episodes come on instead of waiting. for them
I
to
would
come
not
on.
miss.
Yeah.
I would not miss that for sure. Two of the best episodes in Doctor Who history were written by Neil Gaiman
hmm
Yeah.
because
Taking it
number
down
one,
heavy.
he's an amazing he's an amazing writer, but he also completely understands the character completely. Michelle says some Spanish there.
Oh
No,
yeah,
I mean,
she says, oh yeah, oh and hello after
That-
I just take a swipe at Steve, but that's okay.
That's actually Spanglish because she's mixed in English and Spanish. So
Yes,
Hola, mi
Yes.
amiga.
like
Ooh.
like Blade Runner. Oh, that's another topic we can talk about. So anyway, we don't have any upcoming guests. So if you are interested in being on the show, please get in touch with me at taskforcegeek@gmail.com and we will hook you up next weekend or next week or the week after or sometime in June or whatever you want. It's all open right now. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. We need some guests on the show. Please get in contact with us there.
Can I be on?
No.
Keep trying. Dang it.
Let's see. Where is my stuff here? You're on right now. You're on as we speak.
Yep. What?
huh? What?
We're live.
Are you serious?
Eh?
Oh my! We are. Oh my God! I am so embarrassed right now. No, I'm just-
Speaking of t-shirts, there is the link to our t-shirts. We have the two guys who designed those. Let me say it out loud. taskforce-geek.creator-spring Rumspringer
Rumspringer.
Well,
spring.com.
I like that. It was so
let's
generic
also-
there for a second. The two guys.
let's also give credit to Sean Wilson for the logo. So
Yes.
It's all over everything.
It is genius.
that's a very good logo.
So if you have a request for a t-shirt, Steve and Walter are the guys to go to. They're right here, right now. As we speak.
We are live.
We're live.
And frozen for a second there, Steve.
Steve was
What?
frozen?
He was
were
frozen for
you
a split
frozen?
second. He was frozen for a second.
Oh dear.
I think I saw him just fine. That may be on your
That might
on
be.
your
That
end.
might be
It could
you,
be.
Walter.
My friend.
It could be, but everybody else was moving. That's the thing.
My friend.
Well, keep an eye on
Anyway.
that. I reserve the right to back out any moment because we are under a severe storm warning. So,
Same here.
Same here.
Same here.
All four of
Join the
us.
club.
so
We're in
never
two
mind
different
then.
states.
We're two different states.
In 3 different areas.
We're in like a
in
flood.
one of
I may
those
get-
states.
I may get floated away.
So
Don't do
Uh,
that.
So the next thing I want to talk about is our Task Force Geek Facebook group. Earlier this week or late last week, I'm not sure which, but we had a couple of people for some reason that like I put something on there and they like replied like sheepishly, "Can we share our artwork on here? Is it okay if I share artwork?" It's like, dude,
Duh.
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
that's the reason for the damn group is to share your artwork, your writing, your project. Share your Kickstarters on there.
That's
And
a
for
big thing
God's
for Ghost
sakes,
Rider.
Definitely your Kickstarters. If
tell
you've got them out there.
yes, what are you doing? You need to be on this group. Number one, it's just groups/Task Force Geek. If you're doing a Kickstarter, if you're doing something on Indiegogo, if you're doing something else, doesn't matter. Wherever it is that you're selling it, hawk it on there. That's what the whole purpose of the group is.
If you're doing
We share a bunch of
murals,
other
anything.
geeky stuff, but we really want, your merch. This is the place to hawk it.
More
And
Kickstarters, please.
if you're doing sketches, if you're doing finished pieces of art, whatever, we want to see that. And if you're working on a plot for your next novel or something and you want some people to read it and get into it or whatever, that's the place. If it's even remotely geeky, please share it on that deal. That's the whole reason why we created that thing, is to get that stuff out there. So you don't have to have permission. Please put it on there. And if you're not involved in that group, please get involved. Go over there, subscribe to that.
We even have filmmakers, y'all.
Talk to stuff. We have filmmakers.
Yep.
We got all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. Get on there. That's my next thing. And finally, if you're watching this, please like this. Please share it right now so that your platform becomes our platform. If it's live right now, and you share it, then it'll be live on your platform, right? So if you're watching it on Twitter, it will be live on your Twitter, and it will be live on your Facebook or any place else that you share it. So
It's
Right
live
now-
on my Facebook right now.
it's also live on YouTube. So
It's
Right,
live
right
on my
now,
Facebook.
peanut butter is not Memorex. Peanut butter is live.
it's live, fully live. Okay.
Okay, there's a new T-shirt. Peanut butter is not Memorex.
Peanut butter is not Memorex.
Certainly not.
Is Memorex still a thing?
I need a cassette next to her. Okay,
Good
someone
question.
No, no.
come up with the T-shirt for me.
Probably showing our age with that one.
Yeah, somebody out there is going, "What's Memorex?
What's
What's Memorex?"
All right, here's
What are they talking
our
about?
first topic. Here we go. I am going to try to share something without crashing my entire. How do I do that? Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Here we go. Wait a minute.
Careful.
Dirk, remember the last time you shared
know.
something?
I know, but here's the.
Be
Ooh.
very careful.
That sounds like there's a story behind that.
That episode still is not up for reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
It was not.
Yeah.
It was not for young eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or
At least it was actual work.
it was Task Force Geek. It was Task Force Geek. Task Force Geek After Dark.
The
Yeah.
blue edition.
Yeah.
Red light edition.
We'll have to make
Inadvertently,
a red band trailer for that one.
totally inadvertently. So anyway, earlier this week or yesterday, Beth shared this yesterday. There is a new role-playing game in town. It's on Kickstarter.
Oh.
And this role-playing game is called Everyday Heroes, which is I don't even know what this is. TTRPG? What is that? What does TT mean? Think about that.
You know, when I was a kid, it was something.
That's a
else,
different thing
but-
entirely.
Totally tubular.
Anyway, they say it's a
TT.
5e version of a D20 modern game.
Oh, tabletop.
TTRPG.
boom.
Tabletop
There you go.
RPG. Right. I love that we have to distinguish between role-playing games that use dice versus what they call role-playing games that are video games, which have nothing to do with role-playing at all. I would like to have that. I would like to force the video game industry to completely change that term because it's stupid. So anyway,
Unless unless they actually have you creating a character or whatever.
Yeah.
if you create a character, but you're not role-playing it, you're hitting a bunch of buttons. What the hell?
Yeah, but
I mean,
That's
I
not
think on-
role-playing.
I think on some of those though, you have to make decisions. Do you
I
want to go?
understand. Call it a
Was-
character arc game.
Was Oregon Trail
Okay.
the first RPG?
You are doing a character arc with this thing. You're building skills. You're building talents. you're changing the nature of the character. That's fine, but you're not pretending like you're going into a bar and doing an English accent, to impress and amaze your friends.
What's the matter with that? I do that all the time.
Oh,
Just saying. That's a pet peeve of mine. Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with that. I do that all the time.
The end. Michelle wants the dark version.
Yeah.
some here for the after.
Hey, maybe we need to put that on Patreon.
Ooh.
We could do an extra
We can put that.
30 minutes to 45 minutes, and we
can call it the live blooper episode.
we talk.
Yeah, see, there's your.
We can talk all the blue things that we want to, and we can show pictures we shouldn't show. And
Ooh, I could read steamy scenes out of my novels.
you could. I could read Stevie scenes out of my novels.
There's one in particular out of your Highlander fanfic, Beth, that I think you need to share with the universe.
Shut up, Steve.
I'm just saying.
Dude, those themes have come a long way since then, okay?
So speaking of Highlander,
I've got it around here somewhere. Hang on a minute.
This game manages to be an open world game that has different segments in it that include, they've already lined up these. I can't believe this is crazy. So it's a game system, but you can get supplements to it, and each supplement has rules and stuff for these things for Highlander, Pacific Rim, Rambo, Total Recall, The Crow, Kong Skull Island, and more.
Pacific Rim.
How incredibly every time that how they explain it is that every time that they release another supplement, they have the rules and stuff. So like obviously Pacific Rim would have like large robot combat or robot versus kaiju combat in it. And so if you're doing a fantasy version of this game and you suddenly want some kaiju in there or something, you have the rules there from Pacific Rim that you can put into the game. I think it's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all over the Highlander version. Just as long as I can sit.
Let me add this to the screen.
That's what caught my attention was the Highlander version.
Yeah, I mean, all of them sound amazing, but
it sounds incredible. This is a Kickstarter that's running right now.
Yeah,
you can see they've already.
They blew that goal away.
They were shooting for $15,000, and they have decimated that. I mean, they're up. They have 2,400 because everyone else. Look, this is the easiest sell ever. If you are into role playing games,
it was.
I mean, this is like I said. This is what I wanted back when I was 13 years old. I mean, I wanted this exactly. In fact, well, anyway, I'll talk about that in just a minute.
You know what this reminds me of?
24 days to go. What?
Super Show.
Yeah, for sure. So this is under Everyday Heroes, right? The role-playing game, just in case you're looking it up. And you can see Escape from New York. Did I mention that? I don't think I did. Escape from New York.
Total Recall and
Universal Soldiers.
Universal Soldiers could have
Recall?
left out of there pretty easily, I think.
So now one of us needs to get
what
this
if you want
limit.
What if you want like characters that are like enhanced or something? So they're like, you could have rules for enhancing your human characters or whatever.
The crossover games on this is just mind-blowing. There's so much potential with this, with what you can do.
Yeah, you could drop the Crow into Escape from New York.
Right.
Or into Highlander.
Total Recall.
An immortal fighting an immortal.
There can be only one fighting Kong and his buddies on Skull Island. I mean, come on.
Right.
See, to me, that would be fun.
Well, again, if you've got Pacific Rim and you've got Kong Skull Island, guess what you got? You got a crossover between the Pacific Rim kaiju and the whatever the Godzilla verse kaiju. So there you go. I mean, that's not shabby. But the people who did this are
evil genius.
Are legit. They're the ones who designed this stuff 20 years ago or whatever, and they have. I mean, look at the stuff they have lined up. That wasn't easy, folks. It was not easy to get these licenses.
Yeah.
It's a slam dunk for all the people involved, but to go, let's just name all of the things we want, and then they went out and got the licenses for it. It's insane. It's insane. You can see, what else is going on here. Cinematic Adventures. They've got the next 2 years planned out. Look at all this stuff here.
What would be fun is if we could get our hands, if one of us could get our hands on this and set up a campaign, and the four of us actually do the campaign. We do it online like this and record it and play snippets of it for people.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when my set arrives.
Okay.
Apparently,
But
he's
you're-
just put money in on it.
Wait a minute. Did you just?
You just did, didn't you, Steve?
No,
kidding
I
on
didn't.
this?
No, I actually did it around the time. Let's see. I don't know when you posted that to my Facebook page.
When I posted it yesterday, I tagged you guys in it.
But it happened pretty much about the same time that I noticed it.
Which was probably 2 seconds after I tagged you in it.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
Give or take.
The story that I want to tell is that, back when I was a kid, we wanted this sort of thing desperately. I mean, we played Dungeons and Dragons, we played Gamma World, we played Traveler and the Star Trek role-playing game and a bunch of other stuff. But what I really wanted was the ability to create my own world and run people through it. And I eventually settled on the D6 system and ran a Demon Town, which is a creation of mine, with a bunch of friends. And what it did, the thing that was cool about running Demon Town, my own creation is that I was world building while I was role playing. I was creating scenarios and people and circumstances that, once I write a novel or a comic book about that subject, I have all kinds. Oh my God, I got so much stuff. And it's because, I created these towns and people and scenarios long ago for a role-playing game. But unfortunately with the D6 system, it was very wide open and I loved it. And it was very easy to use, but they didn't have a magic system for D6.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had to create everything, I had to create the spells, I had to create how it worked, I had to create how it affected things. It was a pain. It was such a pain.
I think that was kind of fun though, man.
Well, look, it certainly opens up the floodgates on creativity and stuff. But what I really wanted was to have the rules and then put my creativity into it. And that's basically what they're doing with this, which I think is exceptionally exciting. It makes me crazy that,
because then this way you're writing into the rules instead of writing and then going, okay, so what are the rules?
Yeah, that's what I don't want to. I just didn't want to do the game mechanic. That's what I'm saying. Is that it would be so much easier if I could grab the magic rules from Lord of the Rings or whatever, and then use that within the context of the world that I want to create and stuff.
See, I'm watching Dan right now actually create a game, and I'm watching him put together the maps and everything, and he turns around and tells me the other night, by the way, one of your books is in one of the maps. I'm like,
that's cool.
Excuse me? Apparently he built a library and one of the books is mine, which I'm like, I love you.
Very cool.
I'm watching him build this, okay? And I'm watching the detail that he's putting into this game that he's eventually going to run for his buddies. And it's just an old-fashioned dungeon crawl maze and everything. But he's gone through like 50 notebooks, where he's got his notes and he's like, type these up for me. And I'm looking at them.
That's another.
And I'm going, no, I'm not typing this up
for
you because I can't even read your handwriting. It's so tiny. But I see what
he wants you to type it.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to type it.
Yeah, he wants me to type it.
Oh, he could use something like Dragon Dictation.
That's what I told him. I said, I'll set Dragon. I said, I'll set Dragon up on the computer and you can
like Google has an amazing voice to text.
Yeah, Google's amazing.
Oh yeah. Google's is really good.
I just played around with that and it was amazing.
It will do punctuation for you and everything. You just read it in there and it will do it. And
it'll do beatboxing for you.
Well, that's pretty cool. Anyway, that might be an easy thing. So is he going to do a Kickstarter on that, or is he just doing it for
I
fun?
don't know. I would love to try and talk him into doing a Kickstarter on it. I think he could get away with it. The guy that he games with, Roland, is also doing one, which I've actually edited. Roland's actually typed his into the computer, and I've edited it for him. He's trying to get it out there. As a matter of fact, I probably should mention a Kickstarter to Roland and see if he would do his that way.
Yeah.
But I know what goes into putting these games together. So when I saw that, in the worlds that were involved, I was like, dude, I need in on that.
I mean, if you're going to go through the trouble of creating a game, you might as well at least take a shot at getting it published. We'll help him promote it.
I mean, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I want to mention that too.
I'm all for the live play experiment, though.
I think it would be great.
Oh,
Michelle wants to know if you're still
yes,
friends,
Michelle, you guys are still friends. Don't pay attention to him.
Are you weighing it?
Okay.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
wow. All right, let's move on to the next subject. We got 140 subjects to go through tonight.
Always.
140 to go.
Kind of, and once we get started, we'll come up with about 5 more.
10 more. 10.
Or 10. Here we go. Who saw the new trailer? I was sitting around last night I've been watching the NBA playoffs.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I enjoy those. And in the middle of it, here comes this trailer, and it's like, oh, I haven't seen this before. This is all new stuff. And it finally gives us, kind of the plot and what's going on and a little bit more information and stuff. So has everyone here seen the new trailer, the trailer from yesterday? Yes.
100 times.
Yeah, please.
100 million billion times.
100 times. And I even had to
Hey,
come
there's
home and put it
Maxine.
up on the
Hey,
I
Mom.
came home and put it up on the big screen.
All right. Well, let's get some impressions. Let's go to Steve first.
Jane? I think yeah, I mean, I'm not a very good person as far as trying to voice the way I feel about movie trailers, because generally I try to stay away from movie trailers just because I want to be in the theater and I want to be excited about it. I don't need that. I don't need the thing killed for me before I get there. However, this one I have not been able to avoid, and I don't have a problem with it because there is nothing about this that I am not excited about. And first of all, the overbranching 80s thing that the Thor movies have going on is beyond awesome.
It's amazing.
the backing of Sweet Child of Mine on this trailer is so awesome. They used Immigrant Song, I guess it was for
Immigrant
Ragnarok.
Song for Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
And now they've brought this into it. I'm like, okay, all right.
I will never listen to those two songs the same way again, and I love it. I love it for that reason.
I had a very, very stinging sports experience in this wonderful city of Chicago that almost killed Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine for me. Won't go into it, but it's hurt for a long time. This has brought it back for me.
In the last film where, oh gosh, nothing's coming to me today. In the last film where Thor, spoiler alert, where Thor kind of finds his powers and stuff, and they're playing the old 70s metal band.
That's Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That's Immigrant Song. Yeah.
Immigrant Song.
That moment was insane.
Yeah.
And I think that there's probably going to be a lot of instances like that in this one as well.
You see him start swinging the hammer. You see Logan flipping the blades, and you're sitting there going, ah!
Yeah.
And there's not much that I can say, that will be anybody's surprise that I'm excited that Russell Crowe is here, and he flicked a little too hard.
You
That
too hard.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe
Should we
plays
help him?
Zeus
Grape.
in this. Yeah. Russell Crowe plays Zeus in this. Nice to see him doing something. And we have Russell, not Russell Crowe. We have Christian Bale in
Yeah.
a role that does not look like Christian Bale. I mean, like people are like,
Did anybody
is that?
get? Did anybody get a Voldemort vibe
Oh God, yeah.
from
Oh, well,
Bale's
yeah.
makeup?
sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever see the illustrations of him in the comic, you get
Yeah.
that vibe big time.
Really?
You know,
Okay.
He's-
yeah.
Just with the
playing
nose?
A character called
Yeah.
Gore the God Butcher.
We're the God Butcher.
He's
So
obviously into killing gods,
Yeah.
which is a lot of gods in this to kill, I suppose, with Zeus in there and everyone else.
Just the fact that we've got Zeus and leads me to believe that will we be seeing Hercules in the near future?
Oh, good
Ooh.
question.
That would be nice. Yeah.
He is an old school Avenger. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
back in the old days,
And
Hercules was very much a big part of the Avengers. So that is a
He-
great question.
and
And if
as
so,
far
who
as
plays him?
and as far as like a Marvel character that's naturally funny, that's Hercules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. Walt, what's your impressions of the?
I
Okay.
just, like Steve, just can't wait to see this movie. One, I want to see Lady Thor because of all the controversy that the character caused how many years ago, which was totally stupid and unwarranted. But I'm ready to see Natalie Portman's guns because she worked out for this movie.
She did. She put on
And
some,
her arm, she's ripped. I'm ready to see that.
she put on some
Um,
muscle.
Also, we're going to see some of these. We're going to see some Thor versions of Thor's costumes
Mhm.
Yes.
that we've
Yes.
we've seen in the comics before in the past, and just seeing them, on the big screen. And even
It
some
looks
of the
very,
oh
instead of being kind of what we usually get, which is kind of which I don't have any problem. The costumes in the MCU have been great, but what we get is kind of a movie version
yeah
of their outfits, and they're not usually very similar.
yeah these look very
These
similar.
these look right straight out of the comics.
the
And I
bright
mean, just
colors and
with
everything.
with no apologies. It's just
Yeah.
like,
And the full, we're
here it
starting to
is.
finally get the full helmets too.
Yeah.
It looks
I saw this trailer.
Brilliant.
Obviously you immediately start thinking about how to cosplay all these things. Well, my wife is sitting down at the end of the couch and I see, obviously Hemsworth in his costume. And I think, well, first of all, there's no way in hell I'd fill that costume out the way he does. And second of all,
no one
then I
will.
look down at the end of the couch and I think, I wonder if she would, and then immediately she says, no.
No.
Nope.
Not even for a Halloween party, Mojo.
No,
Not even
Hey,
for a
maybe-
Halloween party.
Maybe I might
Right?
could talk her into it.
Beth, what do you think?
So again, the whole Lady Thor concept. I love all the idiots on Twitter and social media going, why do we have to have a Lady Thor?
I mean, in this,
Why do we have? Why
Right.
do we have to have a She-Hulk? Okay, number one, idiots.
my
don't
God.
read. Okay,
that goes back to the early '90s with she.
I know,
Oh, no, 80s, mid
love,
80s.
Yeah,
I love schooling these idiots on Twitter. I love it
So do
because
I.
I'm like,
Why-
well,
that's not
Why
a
can't-
woke
why-
action.
Why can't a female Doctor Who work in Downton Abbey?
Right. Yeah. Even that. And I can't.
no,
You know what?
ignore him.
I can't wait till the new Doctor shows up, Steve.
Just ignore him.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack. Back to Thor.
Hold off on Doctor Who. It looks like we're going to have the time to talk about that.
But
Go ahead, Beth.
I love schooling these naysayers, especially all the ones that start on, oh my God, why did they have to be so woke? Okay, first off, they were always, these characters have existed long before you all were born. Okay,
Right.
so
right.
here's the history. Go read up on it and shut your mouth.
And my thing on that is like, why do you have to be so woke? I'm like, wait a minute. where have you been all this time?
Yeah, where have you been?
I
Hello?
mean, go read 60s X-Men comics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
Well,
they
and you
were
know
woke.
Beth,
But-
Beth means it because the writer just threw out y'all.
Right, right, right.
But
Um,
it wasn't the whole purpose of the story. I think that's maybe the
Yeah.
big difference, is that
Yeah.
it wasn't put in there. The story wasn't that it was woke. The story was whatever.
this is what
Yeah.
the story is. It just,
And
you
they
know, if
sprinkled it
happens
with some
to-
It was
social stuff.
yeah.
it was the story, and the story was based on social stuff.
It's like people saying, oh, well, Star Wars isn't political. Really? Really?
Well,
Really?
back
You
when
better
they
go rewatch the movie. Anyway.
people who say that there's never strong female characters should probably go watch 1977 Star Wars.
Right.
I wanted to be Princess Leia when I grew up. Okay, I mean, come on, Princess Leia became a Disney princess, and I was happy. But seeing Natalie Portman in that trailer, okay, I loved her as Padme Amidala in Star Wars. I've loved other roles that she has been in, and seeing her as Lady Thor, I'm going, yes,
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yes. For me, knowing Taika Waititi is involved in this movie again, I am just doing cartwheels, because what he did with Ragnarok, he's bringing again to this movie. You know, I love Korg in the beginning, where you're seeing Thor working out, going from dad bod to god bod, and Korg is narrating it. I'm just laughing my butt off, because that was awesome.
See, I've said it before, and I think I'll say it again now, is that I thought that Ragnarok was a little bit over the top on the whole cheesy one-liners thing. However,
but that's what made it so good.
Well, okay. As I've watched it many times, I've kind of come around on it. But I am a little bit nervous on this one too, that they're going to inject all that kind of stuff.
I look at it. I look at it like this. You know, when Thor started off, it was like the thee, thou, blah, blah, blah. And I'm, you know, the whole pomp and circumstance.
It's a slog.
You know, the pomp and circumstance.
Don't mother knowest you're wearing her drapes.
Right. And then as he started immersing himself in Earth culture, you know.
Come on, this is a god that drinks coffee and throws the cup down into man's another.
Right,
I mean, come on. He's going to pick up every bad Earth cliche ever, and that's what makes his character so much fun.
Yeah,
fair enough. Now, I will say, if they equal it out with equal amounts of badassery, then I'll be all right with it.
Yeah.
And they did. They balanced it in Ragnarok. They truly did.
Oh, and then
Immigrant Song.
And let's not forget, you know, the character as a whole, the whole in everything else that he's been in, even in Endgame, you saw how serious he was. You know, like he went from, you know, the overweight, you know, feeling sorry for himself guy, and then by the end of that movie, he's like, okay.
They have done so much with that character since the. I mean, think about the original Thor film. You just talked about it, and then think about how he's evolved, and like not just his own films, but really in these other films, and how they've used him
in general,
and what they've done with him. You know, they took a character that I didn't give a shit about in the comics and made him one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Well, they had to change his direction. I mean, when they first started out, you know, they were developing the Avengers storyline, obviously, and they had to be that kind of straight-laced-ish, you know, character to build that aura. But then, you know, like you say, they turned him. He kind of developed into that the more human character.
Right.
And
he's a bit of a pissy blonde.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, he's a jock.
He is. Yeah. He's
a jock.
He's the pissy blonde jock. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on. You know, one of my favorite lines with Thor still to this day is from the original Avengers movie, where Natasha points out, you know, Loki has done this, that, and the other thing in Germany, and he looks at, you know, that's my brother you're talking about, and she tells him, you know, but he's done this, and he goes, he's adopted.
Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
That line right there sort of hinted the direction we were going to see Thor going.
Yeah.
Hemsworth has shown himself to be really adept at comedy. of all
Yeah.
things. You never expect it.
Did you guys know that the Let's Do Help in Ragnarok was not scripted?
No.
That was
No.
Hemsworth looking at Tom Hiddleston and going, "Let's do Help," which is why Hiddleston is looking at him so confused. And he just
That's
went with
funny. I did not
Hemsworth
know
on
that.
it. Yeah, that was totally ad-libbed.
All right.
So it should be
Let's do
interesting to
Help.
see. I'm kind of wondering if the whole "you flicked it too hard" might have been ad-libbed too, because that just seems like one of those lines that,
Well, and
he's a friend from work, Walt.
and
Yeah.
Take
That's the one that was ad-libbed.
Take is definitely going to encourage that. I mean, he's going to
Oh,
encourage
yeah,
them
yeah.
playing off of each other and ad-libbing stuff and that sort of thing for sure. By the way, they just announced that Taika's Star Wars film is the next Star Wars movie that
Are we going to
getting.
get our
So
first funny Star Wars movie?
I don't know what
What is he doing?
I don't know what he's got planned. I don't know. They haven't said. They just said that they are shelving. Steve's going to die on this. They are shelving
I knew you were going
Rogue
here.
Squadron
Yeah, I'm with
for
Steve
the
on
time
that
being.
one.
I don't know
I'm
what that
hurting.
means.
That hurts.
That was Patty Jenkins
Patty
Right.
Jenkins.
who was doing that, and then she was moved to producer, and now they're saying that they are putting it on pause.
We are
whatever
never
that
going to
means.
get Legend Tycho. God dang it!
And
I
they're
gotta-
moving Taika's project up to the pole position.
And my theory on this, and I had this from the very beginning. From the very beginning.
Was it from the very beginning?
Yeah. No disrespect to Patty Jenkins, but I had a feeling. I got a feeling that it's going to have something to do with the writing and all that other stuff, and the story not coming together, not gelling. And I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen.
You don't think they could get it
after
down?
after 84 WW 84?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a
Well,
question. Do you think, knowing what you know about fighter pilots and the way they behave and the whole fighter pilot mantra, et cetera, their aura, do you think that if Taika took over Rogue Squadron, that would just be absolutely perfect for him?
Yeah.
I think that would be spot on. I mean, the world of one-liners that he could issue, I would have no problem in that environment.
After talking to, and this is going to come back from a few years ago. After talking to the A-10 pilots who flew the keg in, remember that?
Oh yeah.
That you took the pictures and talking.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Talking to them about how, oh yeah, we flew in a keg in the bottom of his plane in his his little drop tank carrier.
They're frat boys. They're truly
frat
are.
boys. Yeah.
But man, I could absolutely see him writing the script for a movie like that.
And if not writing the script, I could see him getting the lingo down and just the crazy characters.
Without question.
Have you guys watched Our Flag Means Death?
Not yet. No, but it's on my list and I'm dying to see it.
Watch it. It's a pirate show that kind of spoofs all your pirates.
Yeah, it's a campy Pirates of the Caribbean Black Sails wannabe. It looks hilarious.
Taika's playing Blackbeard and he's hysterical.
It's
is
got
this
to be
a new
brilliant.
thing, or is this been?
Yeah. I want to say it's maybe not even a month old.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
where is it on?
HBO Max. It came out last month.
All right.
Let
me name check a few things here before we move on. Obviously, the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in there. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe more than anything. But it's also obvious that they're going to be in there at the beginning. They're not going to be in there throughout the entire deal. Right. We're blessed that we're going to get some Guardians, though. And they will probably send them off to wherever it is that they're going to be for their own film, which is coming, maybe a year from now, something like that.
That'll be our in-film Easter egg.
Yeah.
Well, they got to sing Groot back to the next Fast and the Furious movie.
I'm very excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm glad that they didn't just flush that. We're actually going to get them in there. We'll get a little continuity. I also like that Thor is obviously going to work out to lose some weight. He's not going to just magically become amazing. He's, that I think it's good that they're going through that process because
They better have a scene with him eating a salad.
From Dad
They
Bod.
have-
exactly.
They have to have a
Exactly.
montage, right? Like a Rocky IV
Yes.
montage,
Yeah.
don't they?
I think they're going to. It looks
Don't they
like
have
from
to?
the
What's
trailer,
what's
it looks
the
like-
what's the movie that's You're the Best?
Yeah,
Around,
I think it's four.
two,
Rocky
or
four.
three.
Is it three?
It's the one with it's the one with Clubber Lang.
Okay, well that's three.
No, the one
No,
with
it's four
Dolph
with
Lundgren is four.
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah.
With,
Okay, which is
Drago.
my favorite Rocky movie, where he's running in the snow in Siberia,
Yes.
working
That's-
out with the wood.
that's
Yes.
four.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm right
Ultimate.
there with you.
The
That's four.
ultimate comeback montage.
Yes.
And I mean, again, Taika is just exactly the guy that might even get that song and play it.
Well,
in the movie.
if they do it right,
Yeah.
do it right, it'll be Eye of the Tiger, baby.
Yeah.
Well, it could be that too. Could be that too. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Could be
please.
that
yeah.
too. It'd be funny if that really happened.
Either one of those two songs would work.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, either one of those two songs would work.
I think that Jane Foster's Thor looks amazing, and it also looks like that they're going to do a love story here. I mean, we're actually going to get like a kind of a
Question mark?
love thing, which I think is pretty interesting. And it's almost like he's going to be chasing after her, which is also interesting. Since
It's
everyone-
been 3-4 years
since
since the last time
everyone-
we saw each
Oh,
other.
right.
Well, here's what's really interesting for me, seeing as I've kind of followed Marvel a long time.
Like your
Is-
whole life.
Almost.
Hey, don't be surprised.
Don't be
Dude,
surprised.
you let yourself open to that, okay?
I know. The relationships. You know how we've talked about this before. How like as far as the Daredevil lineup, or we know in the comics Luke Cage and Jessica Jones end up getting married, having a kid. As recently in the last 4 years or so, we've had Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Jane Foster hooking up.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We've also had Rhodey and Captain Marvel. So, and there's others in there. Like the one thing that I really wanted to see, which I don't know if it's going to happen, and it should, is Peter Parker in Wakanda getting cornrows, and and Black Panther looking at him going,
No. No.
Speaking of
It seemed
Peter
to be a
Parker,
little off-brand.
No.
I finally got to see the last Spider-Man movie.
Nice.
Oh,
That's a great movie.
did
It
you,
is.
Did you see Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I saw
No, not
Doctor
yet.
Strange.
I have
Oh,
not seen Doctor Strange yet.
That's
But
that's
after seeing-
another good one too. That's
After seeing
another
the
good one
last
too.
Spider-Man movie, I looked at Caitlin and I said, "Oh dear God, we got to find a babysitter for the kids so you and I can go see that."
Yeah,
You really should see Doctor Strange.
you really should see that.
for-
It's a great
because it's
follow-up.
awesome, but there's also so much crap in it that can be spoiled for you if you don't go see it.
Okay.
There-
We'll
you
see.
know,
I gotta go. See you later.
Benedict Cumberbatch has never been one of my favorite actors, and I've got nieces that look at me like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, I'll look at you like what's
Yeah, I'll look at you like
It
that too.
took him playing Doctor Strange to make me truly appreciate Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor. And the amount I didn't realize I needed that much Cumberbatch sass and snark in my life until I watched the last Spider-Man movie.
I'm going to be honest and say it was Smoke for me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved him as Smog, but it there's just something about the way he portrays Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
Have
But
you watched Sherlock?
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
I
really,
started watching it, and I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I lost track of it.
Oh,
And it has nothing
Okay.
to do with Cumberbatch, actually. It has
Hmm.
everything to do with Martin Freeman.
Oh, he's
What?
awesome too.
he is awesome.
He's awesome too.
He is. There's
Totally.
just that, like, the first 2 episodes just didn't sit right with me
Uh,
for some reason, and it
Oh
could
my
be
gosh,
that
these-
I may not have been in the right frame of mind to watch it.
Yeah, you need to
those
start
are
over,
those stories are so good.
or
You
just
know,
keep
so-
Oh,
watching
yeah,
because
I love Sherlock Holmes stories. I love Holmes
Eh,
anyway.
Beth-
So
Your attitude on that is what my attitude was about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like I
Well,
watched the first. I watched the first 3 episodes. I was like, and then like
I
2
feel like
seasons later.
I feel
never-
like it got better over time.
Yeah, 2
I never
seasons later.
watched
Really?
one episode of Buffy, and it did not. I am fine with that to this day.
You're not,
You need to
Well,
watch. You need to watch the Gentleman episode.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, because that
No, I don't.
that episode gave me nightmares.
Then definitely
I know
don't.
what episode you're talking about.
You know
too.
which one I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah, that episode was. I'll just say it's the GI Joe, the wordless GI Joe issue. It's that, but in horror, because there's no sound throughout the whole
So
episode.
basically, Beth, what she's saying here is, you sure do got a pretty mouth.
You got a pretty mouth, Steve.
wow.
You
said,
sure do got
wow.
a purty mouth. Well,
Well,
Steve
see,
went
that was
there.
Deep Space Nine with me as well. The first, it has taken me probably, I think I'm on season 3 or 4 now. Worf is on the show now.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. That first couple seasons is tough.
When
I've
I
not
had-
gotten past the first couple seasons, but everyone says Deep Space Nine is so good. But
there are
first 2
parts of Deep
seasons are
Space Nine
tough.
I cannot like the whole Bajoran Cardassian storyline and the storylines with Kira drive me absolutely insane. I slog through them. Now you throw up an episode where Odo and Quark are button heads, or any Ferengi episode, or any episode with Bashir and Garrick, and all of those, and now with Worf on the show. All of those I love.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
But
If-
the whole political Bajoran Cardassian, although I have to admit, Kira and Gul Dukat, great chemistry between those two actors.
I love Gul Dukat.
Yeah, great chemistry between
I
them.
love to hate that guy.
Oh yeah.
Every time
But
he
it's
was
just
on,
one
I
of
was
those
like, "Will
things.
somebody stab him in the neck?"
I'm finally slogging through that show, and I have to do it one episode at a time.
I will tell you that when Worf joined, that's when it started ramping up.
I
Yeah.
agree,
Yeah.
and I was fine with the whole Bajoran Cardassian thing,
Oh, same here.
particularly when Cardassian. Yeah,
I'm
I'm this
good.
far from saying Kardashian, and I don't want to do that.
Yes.
But you
Yeah.
just did.
Don't say
No, I
it.
didn't.
Jeez.
No, I didn't. Delete. Hey, roll that back. Roll that back. But Walt is exactly right. When Worf joined and they started building up to the war,
I've heard, and they got a ship, and they went to war.
yeah,
I heard that stuff is the best ever, and I really want to see
Absolutely.
it. But
Defiant Walt.
Defiant.
so much to
Defiant.
watch.
Yeah.
There's so much to watch out there. Any other thoughts on Thor before we move on?
Have my tickets. Bye.
I want it now. I want it now. I want it now.
Hey,
It's only a couple of months. It's like July, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a couple months away.
I've
or
got
1 month away, kind of.
I've got one movie I got to get through, and then we can talk about any other movie you want to.
Well, speaking of that,
Oh, God,
I don't have a
please.
theme song, but I'm going to sing it. Highway to the Steve Shake Zone.
Hang on.
Oh Lord, what is happening?
Oh dear God
Oh, my
Almighty!
Lord.
Up.
What the- oh
Up,
Lord.
Up.
Oh,
Here
no.
come the aviator.
Oh, no. Wow.
This is Control Tower, Steve.
Negative Ghost Rider.
You threw off my shtick. Well, whatever.
You still look good though, Steve. You still
Thanks,
look
brother.
good.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
He's been waiting for this.
Oh,
Oh,
my
dear
Lord.
Lord.
Hey,
Well,
you're lucky. You're lucky. My wife talked me out of wearing the flight suit. So
Oh my God.
Oh no, I wish
dude,
you had.
You have a flight
Hey,
suit?
but
I do.
he's wearing his Navy Blue Angel shirt today. So
that's a fact.
No, I think you ought to go put the flight suit on.
Time for a costume change.
We'll take a brief pause here
Do-
so Steve can go change his
Do the
clothes.
Beyonce.
The problem with that is that the problem with it is with my current physique, it will take me 15 minutes just to worm into that thing. So I am. However, I am going to cosplay to my my Top Gun showing
Oh,
at
I
the
love it.
IMAX.
Do
so
you have tickets for real?
I
He has
absolutely
tickets
do.
for real. Yes, he does.
So after how many years? Let's see, 35, 36
36.
years.
36 years. Yeah.
My math is pretty good
36
on that.
long years.
And after 2 years of delays, I mean, let's be honest, this was originally announced for 2020, was it not?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then delayed and delayed and
Uh-huh.
delayed and delayed.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Here we are. We're on
It's
the
been
precipice. Matter of
absolutely
fact,
brutal.
It's possible it opened tonight
It does.
because they're opening it early because of Memorial Day.
The
and they're
theater-
running it. They want $10 trillion.
Yeah,
So I think it opens tonight.
it does. The
Yeah,
one
for those of you
theater
who
that
don't know, we're
the
talking
town
about
I
Top
live
Gun.
in. Yeah. The one theater in the town that I live in is actually premiering it tonight. And here I said. So just tells you how much I love you all.
Wow. Hey, here's Grant.
We love you
Hey,
too, man. We love you too, man. Hey, Grant, how you doing?
How you doing, Grant? And
Grant meat peanut butter.
welcome from YouTube. And yeah, heard a cat. That's peanut butter right there.
Peanut butter.
Let's put Beth up here so we can see peanut butter's noggin.
They want to say hi. They want you to say hi. Say hi. Can you say
There
hi?
we go.
She's
There
a
it
tortoise
is.
shell. I don't
Yes,
guess I ever.
tortoise.
There we go.
I never realized she was a tortoise shell.
Her sister's somewhere. This is peanut butter, and her sister, who is like half her size, is toast.
Peanut butter and
Peanut butter and
toast.
toast.
I joke around and call this one Dirk's girlfriend because every time she hears Dirk's voice, she comes running and meowing. It's hysterical.
Boy, if
Thank you, Grant.
Dirk had a nickel.
Grant says peanut butter's cute.
Thank you, Grant.
And to Steve, what is your favorite line in the original movie?
Unfortunately, Ashel, I cannot narrow that down to just one. And I think you saw my post on Facebook today that said that I am going to issue nothing but Top Gun quote status updates for the rest of the week.
Negative. Dirk Fighters, Fighters, full.
That's exactly right.
Steve,
You're not
what
going to
is
be
your-
happy unless you're going Mach 2 with your hair on fire.
For me, I didn't care about the dialogue or
Well,
the drama,
it's
or the drama, for that matter.
It's the perfect example of. I mean, it is firmly set in the 80s. It's an 80s,
Oh, yes.
Macho
Oh,
flag
yes.
waving, adrenaline
God bless America.
festival.
Yeah.
And when the
it-
Jets come on, it is a full-on testosterone fest.
It made
Yes.
and it made $1 trillion
Yes.
at the
I will
time.
be the first one to say that the romance in that movie could have been cut out.
Yes.
And
Tacked
Oh,
on.
totally. It was
That would have been
unnecessary.
Fine.
And no offense,
Yeah.
but Kelly McGillis is a little.
Butch.
A lot.
I'm glad you said that, not any of us.
I'm not going to say that. But she
See,
is
if
a
I'd said
handsome
that,
woman.
Michelle would have jumped all over me.
Oh,
So-
if-
Well, I like that.
if-
She's a handsome
if-
woman. Yes.
If any of us guys had said that, you want to talk about getting doxxed for the rest of the
I
week.
never understood
Yeah.
why, of all the actresses in Hollywood, that they picked her for this role.
Oh, no.
Chemistry with Tom Cruise.
Dirk, I will take issue with this one, buddy.
Okay.
Because in 1986, there to 15-year-old Steve, there was no hotter woman on the planet than Kelly McGillis. All right. And only
Dude.
because of the fact that she took a picture with an F-14 Tomcat. Done. That whole movie
She's
was
tangentially hot.
was built for me. It was built for me.
Back then.
I needed a hotter lead actress.
Well,
personally.
here's your
But-
chance. Here's your
Yeah,
chance.
yeah. Because guess who we got? in
We
this
got it
movie?
this time.
Yep.
We got
Here's
it
your
this time.
chance.
This is much more like what I expected in this new movie.
That said, I
No.
would rather have had 1986 Jennifer Connelly.
1986 Beth was all about Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise in that movie. So
Oh,
sorry,
come on. Rick
I'm sure
Rossovich
everyone-
didn't do anything for you.
Rick
I'm sure-
Rossovich never did anything for me.
He stinks. So
It was more Val Kilmer than anything.
Well, all I know is it was like Jennifer Connelly's in the sequel. Sold.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
okay. It was like, okay, so we can have a little bit of drama in this one.
Okay, the biggest question that I have for this one, obviously,
Sure.
is obviously Val Kilmer is going to make an appearance at some point, and the rumor has it is that they have computerized his voice.
Real.
That
I was
he
just about to ask
basically
that.
that
How are
he
they gonna do
basically
that?
lipped the dialogue, but then they've gone in from past whatevers and
Movies.
constructed his lines digitally, which will be fascinating
So
to me.
he is going to have a
Well,
speaking role.
On a side note,
That's the rumor.
That's the
Now,
rumor?
Yeah.
those mere mortals like me who have not seen it as yet and didn't have the media passes to go to the premiere out in San Diego, to which Tom Cruise flew in his own frickin' helicopter.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Well, he's using tons, okay? I mean, come on.
They know. Everybody out there knows, and I am purposely staying off the internet where Top Gun 2 is concerned, other than,
When are you going to go see
Oh, yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
Steve?
I'm actually going Thursday.
So
I'm
you
actually
still
going
got.
Thursday.
You
I know. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I know.
Besides
you
tonight,
gotta,
I know.
you better get off the internet.
I got to
Yeah.
crawl under a rock and stay there
Because
until
all of
Thursday.
this, you know how it is. Everyone's
I
going to
do.
start like saying, why did Val Kilmer have a robot arm in the show?
Well, apparently, Tom Cruise
know-
said the only way he would do this movie is if Val Kilmer
Yeah.
came back as Kazansky.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
And,
the rumor.
Maybe that is part of the
speaking of Val
two-year
Kilmer,
wait.
Michelle says Val Kilmer was. Here's the shot across the bow. Val Kilmer was the only good-looking guy. She says.
Hey, my bow.
Tom Cruise back in the day was not bad looking.
Hey, going back to your Val Kilmer voice. Side note, I heard that's the way that they did Luke Skywalker's voice in Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right.
So
But-
yeah, supposedly
Mark Hamill didn't come into.
Nope.
They didn't.
None of that is
him?
None of that is Mark Hamill.
Oh, okay.
So
They did it. Sean posted. Sean
Spoiler
posted
alert.
on Facebook the whole behind the scenes thing
Yeah.
for the filming of Top Gun, and I don't consider that a trailer because they don't really do anything that hasn't already been shown. But
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of that stuff. I remember the first trailer that I saw, and Tom Cruise comes off of that carrier, and I think Sean was there, and I turned to him and I said, "That looks real. Like he actually came off of an aircraft carrier. Is that possible?"
It was real.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Or were they just? Or were they
No,
just
it was
special effects?
No,
was
it was
real.
absolutely 100% real.
They
That-
had a
there's-
IMAX camera on the dash in front of Tom, and
Well,
the way
he's in a
it's
back
set
seat.
up, all you can see is him.
Yeah,
You can't see the pilot that's actually flying the F-14,
yeah.
Right.
F-18.
F-18. Yeah.
Better get that right.
and I was watching that, and what I found interesting was they were showing his actual reaction to the G-forces.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
here's
and-
here's
that's
even
what
more.
makes it look so amazing.
Yeah.
You could feel that, like the clunk, where you
Yeah.
kind of come off of that carrier and then you're rising. It's just great. Look, I've been endlessly fascinated since long before Top Gun about landing on a postage stamp in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, no kidding.
It's an insane idea.
Thank you for the
Well,
quote.
landing-
Thank you for the quote, Dirk. I appreciate the quote.
landing on a postage stamp.
Right, or taking off. I mean, both of them are
Extremely
horrifying.
dangerous.
I
Yeah.
mean, you have to, when you take off, you have to be at full throttle so that you don't go off in front of the boat and they run over you.
And it's not just dangerous for the pilots in
If
the
you go
plane;
off,
it's
you're
dangerous for
done.
anybody on that deck.
Yeah,
They
because
can't
my
come back
brother,
and get you.
my brother was
done.
one of those people on the deck when he was on the Nimitz at one point.
Yeah.
It was either when he was on the Nimitz or the Forrestal, but I remember he got burned. It was a mild burn. I mean, he was behind the
dangerous.
barrier, but yeah, it's super
They got
dangerous.
those crazy cords
Yeah.
that catch the
Yeah,
jets.
I knew a kid who witnessed somebody a fatal incident where one of the cables broke and hit somebody on the
Game
deck.
over.
It'll take your legs off.
Well, we'll
Sean's-
just say this guy got the Darth Maul.
Sean's dad worked on an aircraft carrier, and he's got all kinds of stories that his dad told him about.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I would
All
love
the
to sit. I would love to sit in a room
crazy,
and hear those stories.
crazy stuff. that
Yeah, my
happened.
brother's got some crazy ones too.
Some of it
yeah.
is dark.
Yeah.
Some of it is dark.
And speaking of them being in the actual airplanes, because all of them are in the actual airplanes.
Mhm.
Yeah, all
I
of
was
them.
watching. I just happened to be watching Extra today, and they opened up with the Top Gun thing. And Tom Cruise made every actor that was playing a pilot take 40 hours of flight experience from.
And honestly, more often than not, he actually flew him in his own
And he actually flew him in his-
L-139 Albatross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or 159. He's either got the 139 or the 159.
It's one of those.
Someone restrained Steve.
And he also
Michelle says if we were meant to be in the air, we would have been created with wings.
Drink a Red Bull, buddy. And done.
She says she's just kidding. Just kidding.
Steve, 0 for show.
JK.
This is the best thing. It's going back and forth. I love that. It's fun. She knows I'm kidding too.
Oh, and I have to somehow find the segment with Tom Cruise with James Corden on the Late Late Show because he took.
It's all over Facebook.
Hysterical.
So I've got to find it.
It's all over Facebook.
What did he do?
He took James Corden
for a ride in his jet.
Interesting.
And they did wrung him out.
And they also did airplane karaoke instead of car.
If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it.
And if they don't sing Danger Zone, I'll be very disappointed.
That's what they sang.
And hey, Beth, is Pennywise in your room there, bud?
No, he's in the living room with his mom, but he's screaming about something. He will just get on this little screaming tear. It's basically just him talking.
That's funny.
So I'm sorry to hijack the night with Top Gun, but man, that's
look,
you're so excited about that.
I'm excited.
We're all very excited about seeing it in IMAX. I think this is going to be a film that even if you just go to see the action scenes, it's going to be well worth it.
Yeah.
I think it'll also be fun to just kind of take a trip down memory lane and whatever it is that they do in this thing.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Nostalgia factor.
So, Steve, you haven't seen Doctor Strange yet, right?
Affirmative.
So you'll probably see Top Gun before you see Doctor Strange.
Affirmative.
Well, I was going to say that they had an extended clip of Top Gun 2 in front of Doctor Strange.
I'm about to see 2.5 hours of Top
Gun. I
ain't got to see no extended clip.
You don't need to see no extended
clip. All I know is when I went and saw Doctor Strange, I was like, how long is this? I'm sitting there going, how long is this clip? Why is it so long? And I don't care that it's this long because it was a long ass clip.
See, that's why I don't need to be seeing it because I want to see the movie.
But there was no context to it. So you're like, what's going on here, and what part of the movie is this going to be in? Because I can't wait to see it.
Well,
how excited is the United States Navy to get another one of these? Because the last time they had an explosion, everyone wanted to either be a pilot or be, service the planes or get on the aircraft carrier, whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's a recruitment video unlike anything ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No
you're gonna see another boom. You really will. I mean, the upside of when Top Gun was in production is that we were dead in the center of a Cold War. There was nothing happening. It was just, it was all peacetime flying. The downside is that all the people that enlisted right after Top Gun got the Gulf War. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
congratulations.
The video game generation. The video game generation, as they called them.
Absolutely.
Us.
Yeah.
Us.
Well, I've been listening to a podcast over the last week. They've had 2 episodes about the original Top Gun movie, also from a gentleman that wrote a 700-page book outlining Top Gun, not the movie, but Top Gun proper, the program. And his whole bet was it was absolutely astounding as to how many people enlisted or went to OCS for after Top Gun.
Yeah.
And it will absolutely, without question, happen again. And I cannot wait because that's going to be some of the greatest people in this country go into the military.
And not only that, there's a pilot shortage right now in the commercial area.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Commercial and military, buddy.
It will help.
Yeah.
Both of those.
And both of them.
If they can afford the fuel.
And then there's that.
And don't get me on that topic either.
Yeah.
And no, we're not going to electrify our F-18 Hornets. No, I'm sorry. We're just
that's not going to happen anytime soon.
I don't think that's
but
warp drive maybe, but no.
Yeah. To your earlier point,
maybe more likely.
Yeah, to your earlier point, Dirk, it's been 36 years since Top Gun originally came out. And since then, we've had to suffer through Hot Shots and Stealth,
Stealth.
and
every stupid.
Oh my God,
Ugh.
Stealth.
executive. The only other movie that I can tell you that actually did something for Navy recruiting was Executive Decision with
Oh, yeah,
Kurt
yeah.
Russell and Steven
Yeah.
Seagal.
Steven
yeah.
Seagal was in it
Really?
for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Good.
but they showed F-14 Tomcats, which
Yeah.
made the Jolly Rogers. They're the ones that have
Yeah.
the skull and crossbones on their vertical stabilizers. They absolutely have that exposure, and everybody knows who the Jolly Rogers are. And so
Yeah.
now you're going to see. You may even see them make an appearance in this movie.
Oh, it would
And
be so cool if they did.
and to have that association will do wonders for
It's
naval recruiting.
Speaking of which, they're the actual inspiration for the Macross series Skull Squad.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I got a question for military nuts. Does anyone know like a research book or either
Nuts.
fiction or fiction or reality about the CIA
Tom Clancy.
that does well, specifically the group that does assault stuff. So it would be like the group from 13 Hours,
like
Tom
the Navy
like SEAL teams,
the SEAL teams, and the Rangers, and
Rainbow Six, Tom Clancy.
Tom
Clancy all the way.
I'm talking specifically the CIA though.
Tom Clancy.
Anything Tom Clancy. Jack Ryan.
Everything Tom
Jack
Clancy.
Ryan Clancy's done.
Clancy. Tom Clancy.
Right.
Yeah, we got Tom Clancy. We got Stephen Kuntz. We got Robert Gant. You got Clive Cussler. Name it, man. There's a bunch of them out
probably
there.
Clancy and Cussler are the top two in those.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a Clancy fan. I can blame my father for that.
Yeah, Tom Clancy.
Well, you can pop Stephen Kuntz into that. He's by far my favorite military thriller writer.
I like Kuntz a lot.
Clancy and Kuntz
does not
are my two.
Kuntz does not get the credit for how good his stuff is. He always takes, fifth or sixth fiddle to
everybody else.
King.
Well,
that guy has written a billion books, and his stuff is good. They should be grabbing his stuff and making movies and television series out of it.
I agree with that.
Know why they're not.
They did make Flight of the Intruder back in 1992. They made 91 or 92. They made Flight of the Intruder, and it was terrible. But the book is outstanding. Everything up until probably the last 3 or 4 books that Stephen Kuntz has written, because he's gotten way too uber political for me.
Oh, really?
He's straight away.
I always enjoyed his stuff.
Yeah, the Jake Grafton novels when they were doing the Navy Vietnam era all the way up and through when he was an F-14 pilot, et cetera, et cetera. Those novels are unreal. I love them. But yeah, to add that to my list of movies that sucked since Top Gun was Flight of the Intruder.
You guys will,
if
you guys have a specific book that you're thinking of,
Rainbow Six.
Okay, Rainbow Six.
Yep.
And they based a video game on that, Dirk. They actually built a video game on that, and it is an outstanding video game.
I think I played Rainbow Six Vegas. I think I played
yeah.
Michael B. Jordan's movie on Amazon is the beginning of the Rainbow Six series. He's good.
Which one?
Yeah. What's the one? Oh crap! Now I can't remember the name of the movie. But he's got a movie.
I've got a character who's supposed to be in that thing.
Yeah, there's a movie on Amazon, and it's Michael B. Jordan, and he plays the key character of the Rainbow Six group. And the movie is not Rainbow Six, but by the spoiler alert, by the end of the movie, you're like, oh, Rainbow Six.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Read that book, Dirk, but it will the width
Six.
and size of that book will put anything that J.K. Rowling wrote with the name Harry Potter on it to shame, because it's
a monster
that thick.
Oh.
It is a ridiculously thick book, but
I am not a fast reader.
It will rivet you.
I love reading, but I am not a fast reader. All right, we're going to move on to, unless Steve's got something else to add to the Top Gun.
No, just that, obviously
Oh.
Kenny Loggins has revised Danger Zone to be in this movie. I don't
Cool.
know in what capacity, but I'm extremely excited about that. And
by
everybody go
the-
spend all your money on this movie, please.
The Michael B. Jordan movie is Without Remorse. That's the name of the
Okay,
movie.
very good.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought that was the one. Okay, yeah.
Very
I
good.
have actually watched that. That's a good flick.
That
I-
is
that
is a damn good movie.
We're supposed to go see Top Gun on Friday in the IMAX theater. Hopefully, we'll be able to get tickets because we haven't gotten them yet. Shame on us.
Well, you'll definitely know I'm at the theater on Thursday because I'm going to post like freaking crazy.
I'm very
Spoiler
excited
free,
this film.
but
I am excited to see this film. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I think it's the perfect back to summer movie. Hopefully we can keep the ball rolling and help Hollywood out a little bit so we keep getting some cool films because they've had a bad couple of years.
truth.
Yeah, no
Let's
joke.
be honest. So anyway, that's it. We're moving since the guest that we had lined up is not here tonight. This is now our feature presentation.
Bummer.
Hey, what's up with Beth?
What's up with Beth?
What's up with Beth?
Who's Beth?
Man, it's been a couple of crazy weeks since I was last on here.
Yeah, let's hear. I know that you went to didn't you go to an event?
Have a senzu bean. That
Oh,
should.
wait a minute.
What? Hold that back up there.
What is that, man?
We need to give Beth a senzu bean
I need a sensor bean.
What does that do?
from Dragon Ball. You eat one
Whoa.
little bean and it restores all of your energy.
Oh, where did you?
Yeah,
get
I need my
that?
hit points
It's
restored
candy.
because it's very low at the moment.
It's candy.
All right, Beth, tell us what's
so let's
been
see,
going on. We got some questions. I need to know about you writing a short story. We got to get to that. But you went to an event, I think, since
I
the last time we've had you on,
did.
correct?
I did.
Lay it out.
I went to Seguin, not Seguin, to Wimberley, Texas, with the Authors Marketing International group that I'm involved in, and did a book signing, which was not very successful.
Why
It
do you say that?
happens.
Just not a lot of people showed up, or
We didn't get I had one customer that came in from outside. Everybody else that did buy stuff off of me was other authors.
sometimes that's just the way it works.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we think what happened was there was something going on in Wimberley that day. But where we were located, people weren't coming up that far. So we weren't able to, really capitalize on what was happening that day. But the fun thing about that wasn't so much the book signing. My daughter went with me and the grandbaby. And we stopped at
Oh, dun dun dun.
Family Business Brewery. Now, I am a Supernatural fan. I love Jensen Ackles. Family Business Brewery is the brewery that he started with his brother-in-law.
Very cool.
It's in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Oh yeah, outside
And
Austin.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the vibe was fantastic. They had bands playing. They actually had a little pop-up market going on. And we bought this little wooden chew toy for Darren. It's a dinosaur. And the lady, the guy who actually made them, his mom was sitting there with them, and she wound up buying a copy of Behind the Eyes of Dorian Gray right off of me. So I made Kate go run to the car and go get it in my pen and everything. But while we were there, unfortunately, Jensen was not there that day. Okay, no problem. But we did get to see 6 fully tricked out 1967 Chevy Impalas.
Nice.
All
Nice.
running, all fan Impalas where people have gotten them
Nice.
and have rebuilt them and the whole 9 yards.
I would love to have one of those.
Um,
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are cool cars.
And when
Oh,
I
they're
say
okay.
tricked out, I mean tricked out like at Fan Expo. when we saw Baby.
Oh,
Fan,
yeah.
When we saw Bella at Fan Expo, same thing. I mean, everything in the trunk, the whole 9 yards. And I thought I was a Supernatural fan, but there are actually people that have gone through the entire 15 seasons of the show and have paused it every time they show John Winchester's journal, and they've paused it to see what was there and to take screenshots and actually print out the pages and put it in the journal and actually make John Winchester's journal. I mean, this is some serious dedication.
Oh my God.
They had the actual gremlin that Felicia Day as Charlie drove on the show there, which was cool. We got to see the gremlin. But for me, what was cool was the fact that I got to talk to their marketing director. And I said to him, I said, can I leave something for Jensen here? And he's like, yeah, sure. So my book Beyond the Steps of Stone, there's a character by the name of Isaiah. And for me, visualizing actors in as different characters, it helps me write. And when I completely revamped this book, I was envisioning Jensen as Isaiah. And if you guys watch Supernatural, watch the Krakatoan episode where Dean gets thrust into the future and meets his future self. His future self is how I see Isaiah. So I was talking to the marketing director and everything, and I went, he's like, yeah, whatever I'll leave it in the office for him. So I went and I got a copy of it. I wrote to Jensen, sorry I missed you. Isaiah is for you. Hope you enjoy my book. Your fan, Beth A. Frilly. And I gave it to him and he left it in the office. Well, later that afternoon when Kate and I went to I went to go and get our beers. And yes, she might be small, but she's old enough to drink. Jensen's brother-in-law, Gino, was bartending. So I went to go and get the flights and he saw the name on the ticket and he goes, you wouldn't happen to be the one who left the book for my brother-in-law, are you? And I said, yeah. And he was like, oh my God. He said, he goes, we've never really had fans leave anything for Jensen, at least not something like this, something with this kind of meaning. He said, I don't know if you'll hear from him or not. He goes, but I want to thank you for, giving this little piece of yourself to my brother-in-law, and showing him how he has inspired his fans, in their creative pursuits.
That's
and I was
amazing.
Like, wow.
How amazingly cool is that?
It was so cool. And their beers are excellent. I did bring a 6-pack home.
Where was it?
There's actually one still in the fridge.
Where was it?
Dripping Springs, Texas. It is like out in the middle of
I have
nowhere.
no idea where that is.
And what's it called again?
Family Business Brewery.
Okay. Very cool.
Family Business Beer Company.
I have a couple of things to talk about Jensen Ackles since you're on that subject.
The boys, I cannot wait.
I didn't know that he was in Big Sky. Are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah, he just got cast in that. Yep.
Yeah.
My mom was watching that, and I'm like, is that Jensen Ackles?
Yep.
And I looked it up, and sure enough, he was on there. So if you do like him and you like to see him and stuff, he's on Big Sky. I've never watched that show. I have no idea.
Now I'm going to go and watch it. Of course,
And of course, like you guys all jumped on it. The new season of The Boys, he's playing a kind of a Captain America character. And I think we're all looking forward to that.
I know I am. I'm really super looking forward to that.
I can't wait. I've been jonesing for The Boys.
He's another actor. I have a list of them for the last 30 years that I always wondered, like also Ben Browder and many others. I always wondered, why didn't these guys end up in films? Why didn't someone see them and go, hey, I got this new action film or something, and just pull them in and, elevate them to instead of the normal people that we usually get on these things. Why not grab one of these people that has some personality and has the looks and stuff? And, like they did it with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was in a stupid thing called Moonlighting.
Yep.
And they decided, hey, let's put him in a film called Die Hard and see what happens. Well, some pretty magical things happened by taking someone who was on television and had some personality and giving them a starring role in a big film.
Now, you do know that
Jensen Ackles is a good example of someone I think they should elevate to that.
He was approached for Captain America.
Oh,
yes.
many
Yes.
years ago?
Yeah, for to play Captain America.
And he didn't want to do it, or what happened?
He backed off. He backed away from it because of Supernatural.
Right.
Because of because of the commitments to Supernatural, and he didn't think he would be able to do both.
Dummy.
So, yeah. Honestly, I think I'll be honest with you. I think he's holding out for Red Hood or Batman.
Because he did the voice.
Different things. Yeah, and
he did the voice for Red Hood. I would love
to see it. Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be just a matter of time before either DC or Marvel cast him. I mean, he's a good choice for.
Well, he's already in the family, so why not?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to him playing Soldier Boy.
I am too. I just cannot wait.
Soldier Boy up in it. Oh, Soldier Boy.
Oh. What else you got going on, Beth?
Let's see. So y'all know I went to San Diego back in February.
Right.
That was my big one for the year, and I'm
stinking jealous.
I was supposed to be contributing to an anthology for that. But right now I have another one coming up in August. Which is in Austin. Not Austin, it's in Houston. And I am
kind of the same.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Drive wise it is. Steve,
I know. I know those are very, very different. Those are like two different planets.
I committed to writing.
You want me to put this up?
I got it.
Okay.
I committed to look, dude, you told me get ready to cover for me if I need to.
Great.
Okay, so I'm all good.
No, great. Sometimes when you're talking, it's fine.
I committed to writing a short story for an anthology for the Sultry in the City book signing in Houston in August. This is the cover that we have right now. It's a bunch of romance writers, Steve. Are you surprised?
Saucy.
Well, I mean, dang.
Saucy.
Fostering it's called Fostering Love because one of the requirements for this anthology is, and the short stories in it, is that each story can't be more than 15,000 words. And one of the characters either has to have come up through the foster system or is a foster parent. Which was a completely and totally alien concept for me when I first agreed to do this. And then on my way to a work meeting 2 weeks ago, the idea hit me upside the head, as they tend to do, and I wound up with a headache for it. Thank you. And I decided that the short story is actually going to be an in-between story that leads to book 2 of the Prophecies of Fate series, which is my Beyond the Steps Stone series.
Cool.
Very cool.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're not just doing a story, but you're world building on your stuff and bridging the 2 novels.
Yeah, in a way that I never expected to do. I mean, I have out in my garage.
Michelle's a fan of that cover.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get it on.
Oh. Oh.
And when we say limited edition, it is going to be limited edition. I think we're only leaving it out for 90 days after we produce it.
Oh, wow.
And
really?
There's only going to be limited paperbacks. And then once we pull it down, once we pull the anthology down, the story, I can do whatever I want with the story.
Oh, that's cool.
How do you write
the vapors?
How do you write short stories versus writing a novel?
Careful.
It seems like for me, I don't. Short stories are difficult for me because you have to, unless you're dealing with characters that are already established, like what you're talking about, you have to explain who these people are, give them some reason to do something, and then you have to wrap it all up in a short story, and make it interesting. Short stories seem to me to be more difficult. They're obviously shorter.
Yeah.
It's not as much writing, but it seems like to get that impact
Yeah.
that it's a lot harder.
When I wrote my Farscape fan fiction, I made it a point to keep each story at about 50 to 100 pages, which is basically novella length.
It is. That's quite a bit.
I've done short stories before. I've actually ghost written short stories for clients. And I have found that for me, the best way for me to write a short story and keep it within that word count is to actually outline the story. I'm very much a pantser when it comes to writing. I write by the seat of my pants. I just let it flow. But for a short story, which has a definitive start, a definitive end, and it's just a small encapsulation of what you're doing, with your characters, I have to put it in an outline and follow the outline. Otherwise, I will go off on a tangent.
And then you're looking at 200 pages, right?
I got 200 pages on 3. So for this one, I've actually sat down and outlined the story. I know where it's starting, what's happening in the middle. This is actually going to be a little easier because the world building is already, the bulk of the world building is already done.
Right. That would be easier to me.
Yeah. And then I'm focusing on one small scenario in the story with one small side scenario, for lack of a better way to put it, that helps blend it with the first book and what's going to happen in the second book. And as I'm doing this, I have a paper box in the garage of notes for the second and the third book of this trilogy. And I've started going through them and I'm like, nope. Because everything that I outlined 15, 20 years ago, gone. I've changed the original story so much that I'm starting to see the second book slowly formulate in my head, and it is completely different than where I was going with it. So this is actually going to be a nice little joiner between the two stories that will let me explore. It's two characters. It's mostly, I've got a couple of the minor characters in there, but the story basically centers around Morgan and Jericho more than anything else. And that's going to be fun for me, focusing solely on those two in this little encapsulated story. If this goes well and I pop up with some other ideas, I might be able to write a couple of more short stories and actually put out a small novella in between the two books.
That's cool.
Telenovela.
Yeah, because I've got some other major characters.
So you still will retain all the rights to this story, even though it's in that. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that.
So that's about what I'm getting set to do. I just finished the edits for my protege's second book. So her second book, this will be the second book that she's published. She graduates high school June 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And she has a third book that her and I have
I
already.
wish I was on it like that.
Yeah.
This kid, she is phenomenal.
If I had started at, 17, 18, I'd be.
Yeah. She put a really sweet acknowledgement in the front of her second book to me, for all the mentoring and everything that I've done with her. So,
That's
and
awesome.
then on top of that, I built 2 websites and I'm in the middle of building a third.
God.
Nice.
I've been busy. I was supposed to do a book signing this weekend. We were supposed to do the Lone Star Festival this weekend in Seguin. But because of gas prices and inflation.
Begin the Seguin?
Huh?
What
did you say?
Oh,
Begin the Seguin.
Begin this again.
Anyway, because of gas prices and inflation and some lack of interest, we decided to postpone it until next year. So that actually gave me 3 days back that I wasn't going to have to try and finish the short story.
Hey, you know what? There are a lot worse things than being so damn busy that you can't, you're kind of a little behind all the time.
Yeah, and I am right now. I really am a little behind.
You got
right
slammed
now.
with making
Stuff.
websites for writers and for doing trailers for writers and
doing
that's editing.
I 2 more trailers.
Doing editing for writers. That's awesome.
I edited a novella for.
That's all happened in the last few months.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Ever since I came back from San Diego, I picked up the 2 website jobs in San Diego. I picked up another trailer job while I was in San Diego. And since then, the lady who is hosting Sultry in the City in August, Mariah, I've edited her novella, and I'm doing the trailer for it, and she's already sent me her short story for the anthology to edit. So I still got all of that to do.
So Beth, your fostering cover, was that photography or was that a stock shot?
I don't know. Somebody else did that, so I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know who she did that one.
Gotcha. Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Do you have something else to show here?
Yeah, I actually have 2 somethings, and I got to see if I have the other one. I have to pull the other one up, so I'll show this one first.
But by the way, for those, I meant to mention this during the Top Gun segment. All of our code names are there on the screen. We each
Call
chose our
signs.
Those are call signs.
We all chose our call signs. Steve chose Whipper for me.
Master
And
works
Walt-
better.
And Walt suggested Master, so we went with Master.
Whatever.
It
But
makes
that's
more
what-
sense if it
That's
was
what
Master.
that routine is.
I mean, we
I
all
like
know.
Master because it also has a Doctor Who connotation.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Now, okay. I'm
And-
fine with it now.
Plus, he's also the host, and it also has that Master of Ceremonies thing. Like
There you
MC.
go.
Okay.
Sure,
All right. I get it.
We'll go
God.
with that. We'll go with Master of Ceremonies. Yes, we'll go with that one. Alrighty then. Yeah.
We so crazy.
Where'd it
Top
go?
Gun segment.
Peanut butter,
Yep.
you're my way. Okay, there
We
we go.
could just, while we're waiting on Beth, we could just talk about Top Gun a little bit more. That'd be great.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So, I won an award.
Okay, let's
Again?
A major award? Is it a major award?
Look at you.
Well,
Did it-
I don't know.
look at you
I don't know if
knocking
I
out the
mentioned this the
awards.
last time we were on or not. So
Did it come in a box marked for
Oh, this is a
GLA?
new one.
For
Oh yeah, this is a new one.
The Book
This
Fest
is
Award.
the official award finally came out.
Nice.
This is first place in romance sci-fi. I also won a second place in sci-fi aliens and alien invasion from the Book Fest Awards.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so there's that. And
Congratulations.
Well done.
winning this means a lot to me because this book. This was my dad's book. This one was for my dad.
Sure.
So this one, winning that award meant a lot to me.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
And then,
And you could put it on when you re-release the book, you could put it on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could put that big fat award on there.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
And that big fat award also goes on your resume too.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
I know, right? All over my website right now too.
Right at the top
it
of that
should be.
resume. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Congratulations, Beth. That's awesome.
Thank you. And for a little fun, Michelle, I hope you're still watching.
No, she cut out a long time ago.
Jason Momoa. Okay, give it up.
And she's back.
Oof. A couple of weeks ago, I got the cover. I got the first round of the cover for one of my next books, which is the sequel to Behind the Eyes of Dorian Gray. Because I haven't asked them yet, Michelle. There she goes.
She says, "Why aren't any of the artists we know doing your covers?" And
I haven't asked them yet.
And
so.
then she heard the magic word. I wanted to get her attention.
No.
Wow,
there you
she
go.
did.
No, Michelle, it was mimosa.
Mimosa. Yeah.
Talking about drinks. Anyway, a lady that I met at one of the book signings last year does book covers, and this is the one that she has done for me for A Man Out of Time, which is the
That's
sequel
cool.
to Behind the Eyes of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, cool. Why don't we bring that on up? How about that?
So, because this book is actually about twin brothers, actually about triplets, but you don't see the third one.
He did.
That is kind of what the cover is depicting.
Oh, Steve, that's dark.
It is.
Michelle says that is awesome.
It is a really cool cover.
Yeah.
Let me ask, what's the imprint there on the back cover?
RLS Images. That is who's doing it for me.
Okay, cool.
I'm seeing royalty-free stock, so that answers my earlier question.
No, those are not royalty free. That is a cover model, and I paid a pretty penny for the 2 photos in that.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. Her husband Randy, who is also an author, he does cover model photography, and everything. So,
man, how do you get into that?
I don't
know, right?
know. I don't know, but
Dude, I mean,
I'm in a
Business
group
card in
on,
the right fishbowl.
yeah, I'm in a group on Facebook where they post up cover model photos, and you can select them for purchase for your book.
wow.
And
I
I
can
wound
come
up
up with some cool stuff that
I
I
mean-
never see. I mean, there's like stuff like, why don't they have like, cool guys in tuxedos with guns and stuff? They never
They
have
do.
that.
They do.
Okay.
They're called
I mean, I
James
see,
Bond novels.
yeah, I mean, but you need that.
But I had seen
You gotta have that.
Michelle is the same one who did the cover for Beyond the Steps of Stone. Beyond the Steps of Stone, Steve, was stock photography. This one is not. This is I paid for the photos of the cover model for this one.
Gotcha.
And everything. So
Well, you hated being at that shoot, didn't you?
I wasn't at the shoot. They were already done. I got to look through all of the photos of the cover model, and
Oh, well.
when I came across these 2, I was like, that's Dimitri and Andre. I knew right then and there, Dimitri and Andre. I knew what book I was using it for.
I remember your trip to, was it California, to the book show there, where they also had the cover models there.
Yes.
Along with the writers.
Yes. And that's a whole nother story.
Oh yeah.
That was a
She's
whole
got,
other story.
Steve, you got to go check out her Instagram. She's got video with one of the cover models. I mean,
I'll just put it to you, Steve. I'll tell you the story offline because it's for Task Force Geek After Dark.
Ah,
But I will put it to you this way:
TFAD, huh?
Never
$5
say
a month on Patreon.
Yeah, $5 a month on Patreon.
Task Force
Never
Geek
say-
After Dark.
Never
TFG
say
AD.
I dare you to me.
Mm.
Okay.
Don't
Never
ever say
say
that.
I dare you.
Huh.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
huh.
But that's pretty much what I've got going on.
All right.
Don't quite know what to do with that, but okay.
That was easy.
I mean, I shut up in a hurry there, didn't I? All right.
How about that?
Oh, wait a minute. I want to hear
And
this
again,
story.
Proof positive that miracles do happen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're moving on to our next deal, and here it comes. For Scott and for all the other people out there, On Blessed is the segment where we talk about things that we have watched or read, video games we've played, anything that we want to promote and talk about. We enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it, whatever, that we've been consuming lately. And first on that, I think I'm going to go to Steve.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I'm very, 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 very. I'm bringing nothing to the table today.
You are tapped. How is that even possible? You didn't get some
that-
super sweet Star Blazers thing
I'm-
straight out of Japan?
It might be on its way, but anyway.
Oh,
No, not this week.
No.
No, it's the everything I have really, literally is all associated with military aviation, and I don't want to geek out everybody all over the screen again because we've already had my Top Gun section. No, I really don't have a whole lot. I mean, I've been watching I rewatched the first series of Evangelion again this week on Netflix. So just to kind of refresh my memory as to what true confusion actually looks like, I rewatched Evangelion. So
let's see those Highlander swords over there.
oh,
What do you got there?
well, these are the same ones that have been there like all the time.
Well,
I want those swords.
let's take a look at those. I mean, let's get them up
Well,
close.
there's-
Oh,
Steve, just keep
I
in mind,
wanted-
Steve, Dirk is going to want you to show that off every time you're on.
oh, look at that. I always wanted one of those.
I want.
I wanted the one with the dragon on it.
Well, that's
They both
Duncan's.
have dragons on it.
That's Duncan's,
All right.
and his
Yeah, that's
was
the one
his
I
was
want.
actually the first one that I ever bought.
That's the
Nokia
one I
was-
want. Is Duncan's.
That was back in the. This was
Duncan Pride of
Marco's, and it
Time
is stupid heavy. It really is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
it sharp?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. They
So
don't
if
mess
like
around.
someone broke in late at
What
night.
is that, Dirk?
Well, a lot of these things come and they're not, sharpened up or whatever. I mean, I
And of
would want them
course-
sharp.
And of
The
course, you have Connors.
Oh,
yeah,
look at the detail on that.
Yeah, these are actually they're the license built. They're built by the same people that did the originals, Marto over in Spain.
That is nice.
So they're full on metal and they're
That
full on
thing-
sharp.
That thing goes snickety snack.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
it sounds painful.
Trust me.
But then the last bit, and this one is
Yeah.
my wife's actually. If for all of you Kill Bill fans out there,
Oh my gosh, it's a what is it? A Hanzo? It's
that
a
is
Right.
a Tori Hanso.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is a replica of the bride
Oh
sword.
my gosh, that's cool too.
So of course it's got the.
Wow.
Let's see, where's my camera here?
Yeah, it's got that
There we
little
go.
wavy thing. I don't.
Well, it's got
Oh,
the
that's cool.
bride, the Hattori Hanso bride marker there, but then it's also
That
got the
is
temper line. You can barely see it there.
temper
but, yeah.
line is what I was thinking. That is the bomb diggity, man.
The Himon is what that's actually called.
Oh, very
Are you
good.
gonna hang those up, Steve?
Yeah. I need to put. We've got a media room upstairs. I need to put them up on a rack up there on the wall.
I picked
But-
these little suckers up to hang up my lightsabers.
What you got?
Brian
yeah.
James. Brian
That's cool.
James says, "Shout out to anyone who remembers Eastern Treasures at Crossroads Mall."
Way back in the day.
Does
Eastern-
anyone remember that?
There's a shop out at Grapevine Mills right now, Walt, called Asian Living, which is incredibly generic, but it is exactly like Eastern Treasures was. I actually remember that shop.
I'm gonna have to go back out there. I haven't been out there in years.
Yeah, I'm same here. Yeah.
About a year ago, for some reason, I was nostalgic and watched two different videos that was a walkthrough of Crossroads Mall.
Oh my gosh.
And one of them was like kind of professionally produced, and it looked beautiful. It was amazing. But they
Yes,
didn't, but that was obviously done by someone who didn't know anything about Crossroads Mall, The other one was done by two guys who grew up in, South Oklahoma City, and they literally walked through that vacant mall and could tell you what every single place was back in the 80s and the 90s. And for those people who don't know, Eastern Treasures was a place where you could get, swords like that and,
Yep.
and throwing stars
Mm.
and blowguns
Nunchucks.
and all the things that teenage boys should not be playing with, but want desperately.
Hang on. Walt actually had one more thing to show that you'll actually appreciate. But first, I want to show.
Who is
Dirk
that,
these.
Beth? For
those of
people
you
at
who
home?
do not know, this is the smallest member of the Task Force Geese family. This is my
Geese.
grandson, Darren.
Yes, the task force.
The Task Force Geese. This is Darren.
Honk, honk,
Y'all know my
honk.
daughter Kate, but this
So
is
he's the result of TFG AD, I guess. Huh?
yes. He's the result of Task Force Geek After Dark.
But Dirk, for your reference,
Yes. Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
where did that come from?
I don't even remember
That
where I
thing
got
looks
this.
sharp.
That's,
It is.
That's,
It is.
That looks like it would poke an eye out.
It would absolutely would.
Actually, it would just totally destroy an eye. Is what it would do.
Yeah, it would. But then I've got
That's
that
even
one.
more fun.
Plus, I've got that one
Ooh,
and
super cool.
that one.
Oh, nice.
Holy cats!
Yeah, I was absolutely everybody that every boy at least I know went through the kung fu ninja.
I had those dumb
Rolling
things.
Stars, yeah.
I had
that phase. And
I had what my mom called numb nuts.
that was after you hit yourself with your nunchucks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But there's that. Anyway, Walt, you'll have an appreciation for this. Anybody who knows me knows obviously that I am an aviation fanatic. Well, I absolutely love. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, I love the Blue Angels. Well, I just got this. This is
that's awesome.
a gigantic coffee table book.
Oh my gosh!
That's been put together by a guy in Pensacola, Florida, which is the home of the Blue Angels.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
And this is his basically a I don't know what you call it, but like a yearbook, more or less, of decades.
History.
It's called there you go. Retrospective. There you go.
Oh my god, that is cool.
But
AF.
It absolutely goes through the history of the blues all the way from their inception in 1946. This is 1946 to 1955. But he's working on volume 2 right now.
No.
That is absolutely I can't wait for. But anyway, just massive
Oh my
massive
gosh.
books.
I love books, and that one is
just the
super
photographic
awesome.
references in there are just
History like crazy.
I'm like wanting to eat those up.
Right. I love stuff like that, and
it's a cool deal.
That's amazing looking.
But
it will never be opened again, though, right?
it may very well not be. I mean, it's found a spot on my bookshelf, and it may just stay there.
Well, see, you did a pretty good on Blast, Steve.
Well, I kind of
improv. Someone who says he didn't have
by doing just a little
improv that
show and tell.
Well, you started it off with asking me about the swords, so
that's what I do.
Don't get me talking about stuff like that, man. I won't stop.
Never stops. Before we get on, Michelle's got a couple things she wants to name check. She's been watching The Righteous Gemstones. Anyone? Has anyone seen that? And Welcome to Flatch.
Flatch is that Fox show that's on after Call Me Cat, I think.
I think so. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think you're right.
They had a crossover episode with the kids from Flatch on Call Me Cat, and it was an interesting little crossover.
My mom loves The Righteous Gemstones, and The Righteous Gemstones has the guy from Workaholics that I love, but I've never seen it. All right, Beth, you're up. What do you got?
Consuming wise, TV shows, Star Trek, Strange New World. Oh my God. Love it. I've come to the conclusion that Anson Mount is the right amount of here's these 2 words again, Michelle. Sass and snark that I didn't realize I needed in my life in a Star Trek show. I really appreciate what they're doing with the show and the classic vibe. I've got both of them.
I don't know what she's referring to, but that's funny.
All right, there you go.
Well, we just found our new TFG bumper sticker.
TFG bumper. There's a right.
Your mom wants nudity.
Oh God, let's make some T-shirts on that.
All right, hold on for a second. You need to.
She's saying that my mom loves nudity because apparently there's a little full frontal action going on in The Righteous Gemstones.
I was about to say, Michelle got incredibly specific just then.
Although a T-shirt that says your mom loves nudity,
I'll get on that one.
That is a winner.
I'll get on that one.
It doesn't have to have any flourish whatsoever.
No, your mom loves nudity. That's it. Just
your mom loves nudity. Period.
And then right underneath that, little Task Force Geek logo.
Right.
Yes. I will buy one of those.
I'll get on that.
That's a winner.
Turk said, "That's a winner.
I'll
That's
get
a
on that one
wiener.
tonight.
That's a wiener."
No, let go of her first.
Your mom loves nudity.
Be nice to the kitty over here.
Oh
I can't
my.
wear that one to
Anyway.
work.
All right, Beth.
Well,
Anyway,
I think we've
Strange
already
New World.
started TFGAD. I
Back
don't
to
know.
our regularly. You're right. We're supposed to be saving this for the Patreons.
But the
We
shirt
need
will
to-
be on the shirt will be on TFG, swag proper.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to get that. We need to get AFD started.
I just
I mean,
So we did a Kickstarter for these guys for Andrew Guild a while back. I got issue number 3 of Forgotten Hymns in.
oh cool.
oh, cool.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
I
haven't
need.
got mine yet. Where's mine?
Really been enjoying this.
How long ago did you get yours?
Last week. It was last
Okay.
week or so.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm in the queue.
So I'm still reading issue number 2, so I'm working on it. And
That's
then
cool.
It's a good book.
Mother's Day present from my daughter was a coffee mug, but also
What? Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh,
That's-
that's
oh, there's
great.
a little pop-up Tony.
That's cool.
That is cool.
But in between everything else, I mean, that's pretty much it. Really, I think right now, Strange New Worlds is about the only new TV viewing that I'm doing until Friday.
When is what's on Friday?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Is that this
That's-
Friday?
That's this
Yep.
Friday.
So
I didn't realize.
you three better be ready because we're doing a spoiler alert this
I
week.
didn't realize I didn't realize that was coming up so quick. Yeah, let's do that. That's great.
I'll be
that's just-
here.
That's
Uh,
this weekend.
what was I going to ask now? Easily distracted.
Strange New World.
Strange New Worlds. When is the last time that Star Trek came out with something that was so universally lauded? I mean, even the Star Trek films, like the J.J. Abrams style films and stuff, was not universally lauded. But
I think Voyager-
this Strange New Worlds thing has been the biggest hit with fans
Yeah.
in the past 25 years.
I think Voyager was probably the last time we saw this kind of real fandom love.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of, I mean, Voyager had its naysayers too, but I don't think I've heard a lot of people say they
haven't
don't
heard
like Strange
anything.
New Worlds.
I haven't
I
heard
mean,
anybody
people-
say anything bad about Strange New
Yeah, I
World.
People
haven't either.
don't like Strange New Worlds. People love Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really like about the show is we saw Pike on Discovery. We saw him see his own future, and I appreciate the fact that the writers of Strange New Worlds are not backing away from that. They're
That
not
makes
backing
such a
down.
great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
We
Is that guy
we all
dealing
know-
with his mortality? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all know how Pike's story ends.
Right.
Okay, we all know that, especially if you've watched the original series. We
Yeah.
all know how it ends.
Yeah.
So for them to not sugarcoat it, for them to address it in this series, I really think that it's tying all of it together really well.
Nicely.
Yeah.
Well, they also did a really, I mean, if you've watched what is the show that was on Discovery that was before this, and look,
Yeah.
Discovery has its moments, and I like the way that they structured the series, and it's had some nice little zingers
Yeah,
and stuff. But
It's not the
Discovery
same.
is such like
It's a soap opera.
It's like an
Yeah.
island of misfit toys.
yeah,
It is, I mean, everyone
Good
in
comparison.
Voyager is kind of a little broken, you know.
Not
The thing
kinda.
about Strange New Worlds is everyone's a rock star in Strange
Right.
New Worlds, which
Yeah.
is just like the old Star Trek series. I mean,
Yeah.
the old
And-
Star Trek series, any of those characters could have had their own series and it would have been great. I mean, because they were all, you know, they were
I mean,
all
let-
amazing.
let's
And
talk
that's the
about
way
how
that this new Strange New Worlds is. Everyone on the crew is like
yeah.
amazing, like they're at the top of the game.
That and their attention to detail. Sorry, Walt.
I was just gonna say it's just that's the reason why they're on the Enterprise in the first place.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know.
Their attention to detail, like the single little detail that in Star Trek the original series, we saw Nichelle Nichols as Uhura sing on the TV show. We saw her sing in Star Trek Undiscovered Country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we see this aspect of Uhura coming out, you know, as she's an ensign, and we're first getting to know who she is. And they rolled that little piece of Uhura's past, future, whatever you want to call it, into the story. You know, and we see that one episode where she figures out.
I've only seen the first episode because that was free, but
we see her sing in the series.
That's
as
cool.
well. And it's those little details that have really caught my attention with this show and has made it just that good. And
cool.
I have to say, Ethan Peck has some really big shoes to fill, following Leonard Nimoy and Quinto and Zachary Quinto as Spock, and he has done a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
I mean, he won me over on the in Discovery.
Yes.
In Discovery, yeah.
He, you know, he had the beard and stuff, and they were bringing. It's like this guy's got this down. He's doing a really good job with it.
Yeah.
I thought he played a really good, sympathetic version of Spock that also grabbed and portrayed the gravitas that character has. I like his version of Spock quite a bit.
He's giving us everything we wanted to see with Leonard Nimoy that we never got to see because the original series was so short.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I like that we're getting like one of Khan's
descendants.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. We're, you know, Nurse Chapel's interesting. The number one is interesting. Everyone in this everyone's rock stars. Every one of them is interesting.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, I think they've really got it by giving us, hey, what do you know? If you give us what we want, what we've been asking for,
it seems like a pretty easy formula to have to follow, isn't it?
I mean,
give them what they need.
Why fight so hard?
Yeah, give us what we want because that's what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
Just work within the.
But we have no idea what we want, and we have no idea what we need.
Well,
yes, we do.
Even though we've been asking for it for so long.
No, the network says no. You have no idea. You have no idea.
For sure. All right,
like Cartoon Network doing live action shows.
Oh my God! Let's not. Jesus,
Tim and Eric.
We could do 2 episodes of Task Force Geek on that subject alone.
Yeah, we could.
Walt, what do you got on blast?
So there hasn't really been much that I've been doing. As you saw, I have the shirt.
That's so cool.
I bought a whole bunch of. I bought 3 shirts.
I meant it. I was waiting for this. Where did you?
Teespring, I do believe.
Okay, yeah.
Oh wow, that sounds familiar. Where's all your Task Force Geek stuff, Walt?
It's coming.
What a great question, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So other than this, as far as like watching things and buying things, I've just bought shirts. That's about it because money.
I hear you, buddy.
I finally watched all of season 2 of the original Thundercats.
Nice.
And you
That's
know
a
what?
sword I want.
Yeah, I want. I want that too.
That's a sword I want.
What were you watching it on, Walt?
Hulu.
Television.
Hulu's got it, and I think it's not on HBO Max, even though Warner Brothers owns it. But I watched. What I did not know is that because back in the day in the 80s, everything was syndicated, and you had to have a cartoon show that came on 5 days a week. And normally that was 13 weeks worth of stuff, which is 65 episodes. I
Right.
did not know that
There's a trillion.
or realize, excuse me, not know. I didn't realize that the second season for Thundercats did a full 65 episodes. So it's 130 episodes altogether.
Wow.
Holy moly.
So yeah, and
A lot.
it's a lot. And the second season, if you remember when Thundercats started off, it started off with it wasn't even a mini series. It was just like the first 3 episodes kind of ran together, but it wasn't a mini series kind of thing. The second season has a lot of multiple part storylines. And like some of the storylines would go like 2 days, some would go 5 days.
Really?
Yeah. And the whole second season is New Thundera. So they leave Third
Oh.
Earth. They're traveling back and forth between
I
Third
don't
Earth
even
and
remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I know. I don't remember any of that. And so they're going back and forth between New Thundera and Third Earth. And, Mum Ra sets up shop on New Thundera. There's all new characters. And, they introduce the 3 new Thundercats. They start
Are you making
introducing.
all this
No, they start introducing just
I really
regular
don't remember any
civilian
of this.
Thunderians, because Thundercats was like a top tier level that you could reach. And then
Right.
there's just regular Thunderians that are coming back to the planet. I mean, it's
That's cool.
wild. I mean,
Isn't-
even the last 5 episodes is a 5-parter, and Mum Ra kills everybody, but they, of course, somehow, some way everybody comes back. But
Seems like I remember, did I not recently read that something along those lines, I don't remember if it's a book or a new series or maybe even an anime type thing with the Thundercats is being
There
developed
was.
around that plot theory, around that plot line.
There
Yeah.
was a new Thundercats animated series that was partially produced by crap, now I can't remember his name, but he did the voice for in Batman Beyond. He did Batman Beyond's voice.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the executive producers, and he even directed and wrote some of the episodes.
Okay.
And that's when Cartoon Network decided we don't want any more adventure shows for people who are ages 12 on up through adult. We don't want any more shows like that. Everything's for kids now.
Why would you do that?
Because the toys weren't selling.
Well, that and they had a panic
mean-
moment over the latest Thundercat series that was just incredibly terrible.
Well, that was later. That's when they
Thundercats Roar.
Yeah, Thundercats Roar. That came after
Please
the
So
stop
that
anime.
was
doing
horrible.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please stop doing that, Cartoon Network.
But I watched
Please.
the second season of Thundercats, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It. I don't care what anybody says about Snarf. I can stomach Snarf.
I hate Snarf.
Especially when they came up with Snarfer, who was his nephew, who always referred to him as Uncle Osbert, which always kind of made me chuckle because his real name was Osbert. But
Stop it, Beth. Stop it.
As far as the second season, my favorite characters are the Lunatics. Those were some wonderfully designed characters. You should look them up. The Lunatics were.
I just want to watch the second season now because I don't remember anything about what you're talking about. So obviously, I never saw
watch
them.
it. Plus, the 3 additional Thundercats that they added were wonderfully designed as well.
Cool.
So I did that. Another thing I've been listening to is on Spotify, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. The Book of Wrestling.
Yeah, you just sent me that link too, and I started it.
It is a great podcast. If you're all about wrestling from WWE's Attitude Era, like the emergence of Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, all those guys, it's the first episode alone, which talks about Stone Cold Steve Austin, is wonderful. This past week's episode was Rocky Maivia, aka The Rock. His transformation, how his first character as Rocky Maivia was a total flop. And
From fanny pack to fan favorite.
yeah, and then his reemergence was just great. And like, and of course they've got all these little sound bites and everything. And Dirk, you know, a few weeks ago I sent you the link about the interview with the IP lawyer, which was a bonus. That was a bonus episode. There's a episode where they talk about how wrestlers go from one wrestling organization to another, but
Right.
like the WWE owned the rights to the characters, so they had to go to this other thing as another name or their real names. So and they talked to an IP lawyer about that, and it was so interesting. They were like, you know what, we got to do a whole episode of just about IPs in general, you know, and how that worked in the wrestling field and how it works in everything in general. So any of you out there that are, you know, doing comic books and Kickstarters, it was mentioned once before that you're not trying to sell a comic book, you're trying to sell an IP. You got to listen to this episode
Cool.
on Book of Wrestling. You got to listen to it because it's all about branding your IP, your intellectual property.
All right.
And anyway, that's what I've consumed over the week. So I highly recommend that season 2 of the original Thundercats.
Sounds like kind of a lost treasure.
Yeah, and the Book of Wrestling. You got to listen to that. It's fun.
And where are you watching season 2?
Hulu.
Okay.
My on blast is you guys are going to be mad at me when I tell you all the things I have not been watching, like Moon Knight. I still have not seen one episode of Moon Knight.
I've watched the first one. That's all I've watched so far. Gee, I wonder why.
Great. It's series.
It's a good series.
And there's a lot of other current things that I could be watching and haven't, because I've been watching the old Logan's Run series.
Oh, that's awesome.
1978.
Yeah, that's pulling it out.
Whoa.
I thought it was going to get the pull one out of the ass award, but
I don't know. I don't know what, I mean, I've been watching, it seems like I've been watching a lot of stuff from the 70s. Like I watched Space 1999.
Tubi is great.
I've been watching, it's Tubi. That's where I'm watching it. It's all free.
I just wish they'd had a commercial-free subscription bit. I really do.
I don't know why they don't offer, they could do that. They could offer
yeah.
for like $5.99 and take those commercials off of there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know why they don't do that.
You know what? I don't mind the commercials because it gives me the commercials. It's like I'm thirsty, but I don't want to break away from TV.
No, I do that too. I go get something to drink.
That's why God created the pause
phone.
button.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to say, I've watched the whole series now, and this was something that came out. The Logan's Run came out almost the exact same time as Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Logan's Run movie. And what they did is they decided, that they were going to move this quickly, Logan's Run, into a television series. And I remember seeing this way long ago and thinking, this is not, Michael York, and it's not the girl that was in it. These are two different people. And because of that, I didn't watch it because it offended me.
Same here.
Offended my young self. I was like, I'm not doing this. These are not the, if they called him Logan 6, or something, if it wasn't supposed to be the same characters, I might've been okay with it. But for whatever reason, it upset me that it wasn't the actors that were in the film. They also added a character named Rim to it, who was an android, and is played by a guy who was also in The Thing. And I'm not thinking of his name right now, but he was great in this thing. I mean, I was offended because, again, that character was not in the film. Well, as it turns out, in the series, he becomes like a favorite character of mine. So if you could look past the fact that it's not the characters I'm a little older now, I can look past that. Then what you have basically is you have Star Trek on Earth. Because what they do is they get in this little solar hovercraft thing, and every week they go to a different community or something that's in this world, and they meet with these people, and then by the end of the thing, they try to make their little community better or whatever. Just by teaching them the right things to do and stuff. The series is very sweet in that it is from the 70s, so there's not a lot of blood and gore, and the three main characters are portrayed as great friends and stuff, and it's all about the loyalty and the power of friendship and that sort of thing, the sort of thing that you just don't get a lot of in
all
television
that
series
late
now.
70s morality crap.
Right.
Sounds like an episode of My Little Pony.
They're not right.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like it ends with the the
Friendship
more you
is
know,
magic.
that sort of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So it's
the more you know.
it has that kind of sweet 70s type morality in it, in a thing that's basically a dystopia. I mean,
I'm not dissing
Logan's
morality
Run,
at all, but man,
Oh,
the
no.
70s and early 80s were
Yeah.
Oh my
just
god.
yeah, I mean,
dripping with sweetness.
There's that
the A-Team never killed anyone.
Right.
They've got
Well,
these
neither did
automatic
G.I.
weapons.
Joe.
Certainly not. But I mean, they've got these automatic weapons and no one ever gets shot.
right.
I mean, that's the sort of thing in this Logan's Run thing. If you've seen the original Logan's Run, they've got these blasters that, fire out this stuff on it. And when it hits you, it creates like a fire in your chest.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Which I
awesome.
thought was cool.
It's so awesome. And the thing goes, like that.
How's it go?
You can find working replicas of those at some conventions sometimes.
Oh, dude, I would.
Don't tell me that, Walt.
Google it.
I want
Google
one of
it.
those really
Oh,
bad.
don't
Google it when the show is
I would
over.
just run
Google
up and
it.
down the street shooting people with the thing.
Google
Oh
it when
my
we're
Let's go
done.
and I'll run up and down the street
Dude.
with you.
Oh,
They're on eBay.
oh, I
And
want one
Steve
of
had
those.
And they fire the little flame when you pull the trigger.
Oh,
my
dude,
God,
I would never.
beautiful.
I'd never get sleep again.
The sleeper gun.
I saw one of those about 20 years ago,
just
and
run
I was
around and-
this close to getting it. I was this
They're
close.
probably
to getting
what, $500, $1,000 or something. They're
Well,
probably
the one I'm
outrageous.
seeing is being sold in the Czech Republic. So give me a second.
Wow, it
Yeah.
does spit out flames, so
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure that
is.
it's dangerous as hell. So anyway,
it. So it's perfect
it's
for us.
also yes. So also there's a lot of connections. A lot of the writers that are on this series, they have the writer of the original book who is one of the producers on the series. So you could say that this is kind of canon stuff that's in here. They have a lot of very interesting plot lines, I think, for what it is. But like I said, it also has a crossover with Star Trek because of the writers. DC Fontana writes a bunch of the episodes, and he wrote the original series. Wrote many episodes of the original series, and there are other crossovers as well. What?
She.
Oh,
DC
sorry,
Fontana
DC
was
is
a woman.
oh, okay. DC. Okay, very interesting. She's very into Logan's Run.
What, you two down there
Oh.
didn't know that?
I didn't.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
I totally did.
I totally did not know any of
I
the
didn't know
writers.
that, but I love that. Do you think that you think she
Totally
went by
knew that.
DC Fontana because it wasn't acceptable to be a male science fiction writer at the time?
I think so, yeah.
There's a story there. Very interesting.
Yeah. there's-
So,
Same reason S.E. Hinton wrote under that name.
right?
Matter of fact, DC Fontana passed away in 2019, and she was writing scripts up until she passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to, after watching this whole thing, I'm going to put forward a conspiracy theory. And this theory is because there is a connection between this and Star Trek with some of the writers and the basic premise. I mean, it's like Wagon Train, where each week it's a different, it's a different community they go to. They're just kind of floating around. They only went back to the domed city like maybe on 2 occasions. The rest of it was them exploring the Earth, the post-apocalyptic Earth. Here's my conspiracy theory. I think that Rim, the character Rim, it was the android on there, was the inspiration for Data. And the reason why is because
Ooh.
they're both androids. they both deal with the same subjects. They both have the exact same demeanor. I mean, they are identical in how they deal with the other humans and the sort of things that they say and the kind of innocence that they have about certain stuff and being able to quote all these things. Those characters are very similar, and it is not out of the realm of believability that either Gene Roddenberry or one of the writers that got ported over from the original series saw the stupid Logan's Run series and goes, you know what? That would make a really cool character in the next generation. So that's my conspiracy theory on that.
I'll buy that.
Headcanon accepted.
It was about 10 years before the debut of Next Generation.
I will. I'm trying to remember that. I see the guy's face, and I'm trying to remember the name of the guy that played him. He was in The Thing, and he also played the president in Clear and Present Danger.
Good
or
Lord.
no, Patriot Games.
Okay.
Bring it back to Clancy.
That guy was really good. Really good in the role. He really won me over in that
Moffat.
thing.
Donald Moffat.
I think that's
his
it.
name.
It's something.
Yeah.
Moffat.
Yeah. Donald Moffat.
Wow, very good.
I had to dig deep for that one.
It had a few.
I'm looking at it right now.
Of people that we know. There was a girl in it, like she was young, and she played kind of a love interest of Logan. And I thought, wow, I wonder who this became. She was really attractive. It was Kim Cattrall. I didn't even recognize her.
Oh, wow.
It was so, like it had to be one of her first roles and stuff.
I remember the guy from the series.
Moffat passed away in 2018, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. He was the lead, I think, in Trapper John back in the 70s or 80s.
Pernell Roberts?
No.
Yeah,
his name was Harrison.
Gregory Harrison.
The one who plays Logan.
Gregory Harrison.
Yeah. Logan was
Gregory
actually
Harrison. Yeah.
He played Trapper.
He was really good too.
No, he was Gonzo in Trapper John.
It was Gonzo, yeah.
It was not fair of me to write these people off because they weren't the actors in the film. They were all pretty good. They're all pretty good, and I enjoyed it. Anyway, it's on Tubi.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's kind of, and you'll recognize other people too. Some of them are not as big a names, but you'll recognize they were character actors or whatever at the time.
Yeah.
Which is what you do. You're either on the Love Boat or Fantasy Island, or you show up on Logan's Run.
I'll be honest. The first thing I ever saw Kim Cattrall in was Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah.
Porky's for me. Porky's.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with
Porky's.
I don't remember that.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh! I'll just leave it at that.
Wow.
That's Porky's.
TFGAD.
Her nickname was Lassie. Remember Lassie?
I do not. It's been a while since I've.
You're exactly right. My gosh, I forgot that. I forgot all about that.
It's been a while.
Dang it. Yeah, but I can remember Gonzo from Trapper John, friggin' MD, whatever.
PDQ. I have one other thing that I did watch the first season of, which is The Flight Attendant, because people the second season just came out and they were really pushing it. And tangentially, I'm interested in the CIA. Well, I'm interested in any spy stuff right now. I'm just trying to, get it in my head. And I heard somewhere that this was kind of, spy type stuff. So I ended up watching the first episode and really liked it. Yeah. I was kind of amazed because I thought it would be kind of one thing, and it's much more serious than, because it stars Kaylee Cuoco, if you're unfamiliar, from Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
And this is a much more serious role, although there are funny things in it.
Absolutely.
Her lawyer friend is brilliant. She is so good. It's like when she got in there, it's like, wow, I didn't expect to see that. Actually, all of the characters in this are pretty good. And it's kind of a murder mystery. It's kind of a spy thing. It's also very much, they do a really
it's all right,
great
buddy.
job.
It's all right.
He hasn't seen it yet.
They have this element in there where she gets in her mind and starts kind of trying to work things out, because she can't remember what happened in that first episode, and the rest of the first season is her kind of figuring out, what happened the night that's in the first episode.
Have you watched the whole series now?
I've watched the first season, just
The first season? Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So
the
I-
second season just started, and apparently it's even more spy intriguing.
I will definitely
So-
watch it because
I
it's very stylish.
Yeah,
truly.
It is really well shot, and it's well written, and the characters are great. If you are into female centric series, it's definitely that. There's a lot of
no.
there's a lot of her and her friends and all that sort of stuff. It kind of feels a little bit romance novel like to me,
Yeah.
which is okay, but it's like the guys are kind of they're
I just like the fact
they're
that
in the thing, but they're not really the stars of the thing.
Yeah,
I just like the fact that
they're bit
keeps you on
players
your
in
toes.
comparison.
Yeah, the show,
For sure.
the story, the writing keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely.
You don't know where
They
things are going.
they keep
And-
kind of feeding you the stuff, and you don't know. It's like, how
And then
the
even
heck is
at-
she going to get out of this
and then even at the
situation?
end of it, you're like, what?
It was quite a ride. Yeah, it was seriously, it was a ride
Yeah.
all the way up to
You're-
the end.
You're like, what?
They
Oh
did a
my
great job
goodness.
of bringing it all together.
Yeah.
And having a few twists and turns. Anyway, if you haven't seen The Flight Attendant, it's on HBO Max. I was very impressed with that show. I thought it was
And-
really good.
And they're repeating the episodes on TNT
That they
when
are
the season ends.
Good
edited.
for
So-
them.
Edited
they're
heavily.
edited.
Yeah, you gotta.
but-
There's language in it, and
Yeah,
little,
but the fact that you can
Some-
still watch it,
some
like-
Task Force Geek After Dark stuff.
yeah, like just before they premiered the second season, TNT ran the first season.
That's great. Yeah,
So-
good. I hope that it does well because it deserves.
Oh, it
will.
deserved it. Yeah.
It deserves to do that. So anyway, there's my two silly things. Instead of watching Moon Knight, which I should have. Sean asks me every 12 hours if I've watched it. Have you watched it yet?
I'd also like to throw in
No, Sean, shut up.
Young Justice is about to come to an end for season 4.
I am
And,
watching a few of those at a time. I'm not plowing
Yeah.
through them, but I am on your recommendation. I am watching those slowly, and I've enjoyed them. They're good.
Oh yeah, you know what I enjoy most about the show, and this is totally, I love the character designs.
Yeah,
The character
good.
designs are amazing.
I do not
I'm-
like the voice of Superman. I think they missed the voice. I don't know who does Superman.
That's North. You know what? I actually like his voice,
all right.
but
Wow, dismissive. All right.
because it's it's the same voice doing Superboy too. By the way, if you didn't know,
Oh, okay.
it's
I
the
didn't
same
know.
person. Yeah.
No.
But I think it's you should look up who's doing if you've gotten to that point yet, who's doing Captain Marvel.
I have.
And
Yeah,
Billy
I have
Batson.
not got.
You
No,
haven't
I
gotten
haven't
that
done
far yet. Okay.
No.
'Cause
I'm really just at the beginning of the first season,
Okay.
but I've really enjoyed it. It's good.
Have
Yeah.
you
Oh,
watched Young Justice?
Love it. And I like the fact that it's not focused on the main characters. It's all the sidekicks.
It really is. Yeah, and I like the way that they all play off of each other. It's a little soap opera-ish too, which I like.
Yeah.
It's these different characters kind of
It's storytelling.
called storytelling.
Yes.
It's called storytelling. Yeah.
It's storytelling. It's
Yeah,
just
and it's allowing these characters. The biggest surprise to me is is it Aqualad? They don't call him that, do they?
yeah, they do.
Do they call him
Yeah,
Aqualad?
Yeah, they call him Aqualad.
He's got such a cool character. I've never liked Aqualad before, but he's awesome in this.
This
thing.
this Aqualad
He
is
does
like
all kinds of-
is great. This Aqualad is like this character is in the series is one of my favorite characters in this.
Seriously, he's super cool.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of neat things with his powers and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
they made me a believer on,
Yeah,
on that.
and totally this Aqualad totally beats out the original Aqualad for You know, if any of you like,
I can say, I can say that I probably
everything.
know nothing about any other version of Aqualad.
the
Because I
original
usually dismiss
version,
the sidekick crowd.
the original Aqualad was nothing like this Aqualad.
I always wanted,
Even though they introduce him in this series, I'm not going to tell you when, but they do introduce him in this series, but not as Aqualad.
okay, I got a couple of things here from Ashell. She says, do any of you remember a movie
Yes.
from the 70s about
Yes.
an earthquake? The cracks were so wide, people fell in them and stuff. I can't find it. It drives me nuts. Wasn't that called Earthquake?
It was
Okay,
Earthquake.
yeah.
It was
You
called
ready for the
Earthquake.
big reveal here? You ready for the big reveal here?
Yes, sir.
It was called Earthquake.
Good job, Dan, Steve. That was good.
You know
Charlton
what?
Heston and Ava Gardner.
We need to have, like, if we can
Just look up
arrange it.
Earthquake.
If we can arrange it, and if I can find them on Amazon Prime, we need to have a Prime watch party and watch like
We
all
could-
these old 70s.
We could
disaster
put that
movies.
on our Patreon account.
The disaster movies.
Yeah, the
70s and
disaster
80s
movies.
disaster movies.
If we got 5 people,
Oh, Kate says we have to add some of the cheesy 90 ones too.
great.
Well, yeah.
Twister and
Oh yeah,
some of the other ones.
Volcano.
Twister.
Okay, yeah.
We were looking up
Why stop there?
We were looking up the work of Michael Crichton. I said, can you imagine? Michael Crichton has given us so much stuff. I don't think he ever gets the credit for all of his stuff. He wrote Twister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Crichton,
yeah,
the Jurassic Park dude.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Oh, look at this.
Congo.
There's Krista.
Hey,
Here's
Hey.
Krista.
when you want everything to go perfectly as planned, that's when everything kind of falls apart.
Oh my gosh.
I just got home from clinic. We had to send a kid like at the very last minute, so I was there for like 45 minutes waiting for an ambulance.
Oh
no.
no.
It's all good though. He's in good hands now.
Cool.
Well, here we're so close to wrapping this whole thing up. I do appreciate you coming on here. Can I get you to maybe come on next week?
Of course, and hopefully next time everything will go as planned.
That would be because I want to give you the whole the whole thing where we ask you the questions and make a big deal, but
That's right. We want to fawn all over you.
That's right. We want to push your project.
Your Kickstarter, yeah.
But
Doesn't that
let
start
me-
next week?
oh.
Uh-oh.
Did she
Well,
leave this?
I think she accidentally bumped herself.
Oh, got it.
Oh no.
I was actually gonna let her plug her stuff anyway, though, because I know that it's about to go out. Krista, if you're still watching us, come
Jump
back
back
on.
on.
Oh, here we go.
There she is.
Here we
There
go
we go.
again.
Sorry, I think I lost.
Krista, let me let you your Kickstarter is going to debut when?
Thursday.
So we're 2 days away from that. Can we
Nice.
get you on next week, maybe?
Of course, that would be fantastic.
Okay, cool. I still want to make sure, because the debut is a big deal. You want to come out as strong as possible. Let's quickly
Mommy, can
tell
you-
us what your comic is about and where to find it, please.
Yeah, so my comic is a young adult fantasy adventure comic following the lives of 2 girls as they grew up as, normal humans, thinking that they were, living their life. And then all of a sudden, strange things start occurring. Strange creatures start coming out and chasing them. And they get transported to this magical world while escaping for their lives into the land of Krayweth, where they meet up with magical creatures, meowls, mermaids, spirit mages, and more, who help them on their journey of self-discovery. And as these powers come out, as they're living their lives out in this new fantasy world, where they discover that they are part of a whole destiny to help save Krayweth from the Wolven shapeshifters from taking over and turning into the land of darkness. And so this is actually issue 4 that's launching on Thursday of the comic. And so I'm really, really excited, because as this journey has progressively gone on, it's just grown and expanded, and it's just been very exciting for me, as a creator, to be able to see it come to life. You can pick it up on Kickstarter at Wolf and I Waves of Dissonance, which I have the link listed.
There's the link right there.
Awesome. Look at it there. And so we are launching Thursday evening. We're going to have a big launch party, and I'm super excited. And then we'll be streaming all weekend. It's Phoenix Fan Fusion this weekend here in Arizona. And so we'll be able to talk to everybody about it. And I'm really excited because we've got some really cool shiny exclusives that we printed.
Wow, wait a minute. Let's see that again.
So this isn't put together yet, but this is issue 1.
That's what we like. We like the special stuff. No one's seen it. That looks amazing. Is that like a chromium cover or something?
Yeah, so this is on HV Foil by Here on Villain Designs, the print shop. And this is just the sample of the cover, and it's got the Phoenix Fan Fusion logo in the background here. I love variant covers and fun things. As my house is torn apart.
As do I. Oh, we're getting a tour.
So this is actually issue 3
cool
on our
is that?
special bubble.
It's a holographic.
Oh yeah,
that is awesome.
I love to bring out the coolest things in comics. If you can
What?
make it pop and make it cool, you might as well make it sparkle.
Oh
It's
my gosh,
magical.
Krista.
Oh
this
yeah,
is-
you have to come back.
Let me say this to you, Krista.
Come back.
A lot of people do. We're running all of your connections and stuff down below. So if anyone wants to follow you here over
Awesome.
the next week, that they'll be able to find you very easily. And we ran the Kickstarter campaign. I want to say that a lot of people come on here and give us their elevator pitch. You did it better than anyone has ever done it. You really nailed your pitch.
You did show and tell at that.
For real. I mean, you put me in the moment.
It was
cool.
very
Great job.
like, I've
Where's
been
my
talking
wallet?
to little kids all day, so I was like, okay, don't use little kid speech, just wing it.
Nice.
You did it.
That's awesome.
Great job.
Pediatric nurse practitioner by day and artist by passion.
Hey,
So
that's right.
what I do best.
You
Cool.
didn't send me a bio.
Okay, I didn't
Before you-
because
So
life has been kind of crazy.
no, I understand. But just for fun, I made a bio for you.
Oh, sweet. I'd like to hear your bio.
So we'll get your real bio next week, but here's the bio I made for you. Krysta Crawford was born on a distant planet with a black sun. She fell over a waterfall and woke up on Earth. During the day, she creates the comic Wolf and I. And at night, she fights crime with her artificially intelligent sidekick, Supermax.
I mean, it's pretty close. I did art by day, and for 7 years, I fought the crime of illness and trauma in pediatric ICU. And now I do it during the day as a doctorally paired nurse practitioner. So yeah, my
That's
superhero.
amazing.
Nice.
Your real story is much better than mine.
Serious.
Definitely.
Well, I love creation. I love comic books. I'm also the co-owner of Here in Villain Designs print shop, which is kind of where you see some of our printing stuff.
Whoa.
Cool.
This is Big Bertha.
You got your own large format set up. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow.
We have more than
I'm taking
that.
notes.
We have a whole print shop. You
Oh my gosh! Let me.
Whoa,
so we can really
wow.
see it.
You cannot
Oh
have
my
it.
gosh!
Wow.
Two of these-
When I said we own a print shop, we own a print shop.
You're really doing it.
It's a print shop art shop that's for artists, by artists.
What?
Oh my gosh!
That is excellent.
You
That is
really
that's incredible.
please
So it's
send
You
us.
got the guys going now.
Please
I
send
love
us the
print
info
art.
on
I
that.
love trying to helping other artists bring their art to life, and that's kind of where Here in Villain Designs was created 9 years ago, and we've just exploded since then. And so it's just so rewarding to be able to talk to other creators and just to see everybody's dreams come together, and to see the community come together and support everybody.
That's
come back.
great.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
even know about that. Please send me some information on
I
that, and we'll push that too. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well,
No worries. Well, I really appreciate you having me on, and sorry that we kind of had the little explosion today.
No, we'll have you on twice. That's cool. We're entering the phase that we call promo time, and
Awesome.
since you're our guest, why don't you tell us where to find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on all social media at Fleur de Villainy. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. And then you can find the comic specifically on Instagram at Wolf and I Comic. And so we do mostly comic exclusive on there. And I'm always available if you have any questions as far as like printing goes or anything that we offer. Huron Villain Designs is available on all social media as well too.
I signed up on both of your Instagram accounts today and shared some of your stuff. It's awesome. I'm so excited. I'm very excited to talk to you.
I am so excited. Like I said, I love art and I love other people and I love like just celebrating this whole community just makes me so happy. It's my love language.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's see. Let's go through our other people. And Beth, why don't you give us the rundown, please?
Alrighty. You got me up here? No.
I'm working on it. Here it is.
Okay. So you can find me at bethanfreely.com, or you can find me on themusesfunhouse.com. That is my business. On Twitter, Instagram, I am at BAFreely. You can also find me on Patreon, at BethAnnFreely. And there's a new one on here, Beth Ann Freely Author Shop. I made my own Create Spring.
Good.
I meant to show you guys earlier. I'll show you right now real quick. Let me show you real quick. Because I can.
Real quick is come and gone.
So
Just kidding.
you can find my logo on stuff.
Cool.
I actually had the masks came out really good.
Nice.
Mugs with the lock stuff, stuff from the lock on it.
That's great.
Yeah, so there's that.
Very cool.
And if you missed all that, just go to my link tree.
Krysta, you're muted for some reason. I think you said something. I think we missed
it looks really good, and that everybody could use another coffee trap.
Yes, always.
Of course.
I leave the t-shirts to the guys. I make masks and phone stuff with my logo. And then, if you are looking for editing of your novels or comics even, hit me up at themusesfunhouse.com. You can find all my novels at bethanfreely.com. And if you missed all of that, just go to my link tree at BAFreely.
All right, Steve, you're up.
All right. Well, you can find all my wonderful art musings at the number 9 ONE8 art.com. You can find me on Instagram at Shanktify Yourself. And really, that's about it. I mean, Twitter, I've got it posted there, but I never really post there. If it's going to be a lot of bitterness and anger. So don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. But yeah, I'm really pointing everybody towards my Instagram. I've also got another Instagram. It's basically the same 918avspotting.com. It's all aviation photography and just random photography as well.
And there's some really good aviation photography.
Good aviation
you're good at that.
y'all.
No doubt about it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Walt, you're up.
Oh, as usual, you can find me on Facebook at What Walter Cons Facebook. You can find me at whatstudioart.blogspot. You can find me on Twitch TV, Gatchaman_1. And you can buy my stuff at the Zazzle store. Just look up What Studio Art. And by the way, I'm also available to do commissions. Get one of my little business cards where I do little sketches on these business cards. All the information is on my What Walter card.
I like that character.
I like that character too.
I like that concept idea too, having sketch cards as business cards.
Oh yeah,
it makes it more personal.
One of the coolest ideas ever.
Yeah.
I mean, because you could just whip out something and do something quick. That's pretty cool.
Well, and then it makes it more personal. People are less likely to throw it out because they're like, oh, it's a piece of art.
It's an original piece of art.
Original art, yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, brilliant. Good job. All right, here's all my deets. I think you guys know this stuff, but what I want to share is Friday was my birthday, and on my birthday, thank you. And I decided I was going to do a self-portrait for my birthday, so I want to share that. And there it is.
Yep.
That's a great.
That is so cool.
That is really cool.
Great illustration.
I like
the puzzle box.
What's that, Krysta?
I said I like the lighting on it, like the reflection on your fingers.
Thank you for noticing that.
That's the first thing I saw. I was like, ooh, he brought all the lighting out on all the different angles where it should be.
Wow. Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate that. It's funny to me that people were like, put that thing down.
Away
That
from the
is not a
box.
toy. So that's pretty cool.
Krista made us all look back because all I saw was like, it's a puzzle box.
Wow.
That was the neat thing is that Krista nailed it because it was really a light.
See,
it
now
was
I'm going to
really a
have to do
light
one for myself, and it's
experiment.
going to be more like this.
See, the problem
Yeah,
is
there you go.
I'm seeing patients and the little kids are like, look over there, look at that. And I'm like, look, what little tiny speck on the wall are you looking at? So now I just look for the little tiny things because that's usually what the little kids are pointing at for me.
That's
It's
true.
true.
That
That's very
is
true.
We got a comment here and then we will wrap it up. Ashell says, great show, very entertaining.
Woot, woot.
One other thing I want to say is join us next week. Chris is going to be our guest. So if you're intrigued by either the comic or the printing company, what?
I'm fully intrigued. That's a room. That's a house of awesomeness right there.
Right, exactly.
We got so many questions to ask you about both things, and
I've only thought about doing that.
I
to my
appreciate you
house.
coming on, even though it was later than you intended. I'm glad that you came on anyway. That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad I was able to make it. I got off and I looked at the time and I was like, oh my gosh, oh no. Because we're over here on West Coast time. So I was like, oh, what time is it there? It hasn't been 2 hours yet.
Well, I mean, and we just go forever. We're almost to our third hour here.
So I lucked out.
The three of us on the lineup, you can almost guarantee that we're going to run 3 hours.
You know,
ever do
when
it.
you're having fun, time flies.
That's so true.
It's called the tangent effect.
And let me just say before we go, there is the link to her Kickstarter. It starts on Thursday.
It does, and I'm so excited.
There's all the stuff. Get over there and help her launch this thing, and we will talk more about it next week.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring all the shine out. Don't you worry.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. Yeah.
I was like, you want glitter? I will be the glitter in your life that you'll still find 6 years later.
I like the glitter one consistently fine.
Wow.
Oh wow. We know who sends glitter bombs to people.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Me? Who me?
Thanks to everyone who watched us tonight. We do appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who chimed in. Thanks to Krysta for coming on the show. Thanks to Steve. Thanks to Walt. Thanks to Beth. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you very much. And that's it, folks. Until next week, we will see you again. And until next time, dream hard. Wave, everyone.